Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back in business. It is time for an Ultra Funds tournament. So today we will have 4 champions going at it, going fisticuffs. And yeah, it should be quite a good time. So Ultra Funds, I believe, is just over 17,000 gold. Standard tournaments are usually played with 12,400 gold. So the armies are going to be bigger. The unit size limitations will be limited or expanded. So players can go over the 20 unit limitation. That's pretty much it. Also, some other nuances. We are going to be using ladder rules, so it's very casual, very non-restrictive. And players have also been given the opportunity to bring either 2 foot-based ogre mercenaries, or the players can also bring a Mournfang cavalry unit. So they can't bring both, but they could bring like one Mournfang cavalry, or a man-eater pistol ogre, as well as a basic ogre, etc., etc. So there are a couple, nuances we've added to the event to make it a little bit wild, and I think it's a little bit more I guess practical to have just like 1 or 2 ogres as your mercenaries. So that's what we're doing. It's gonna be good, gonna be fun. Yes. Sorry, my brain is just getting fired up again. It's been a while since I've done some casting. I did a couple games this morning, but nonetheless, we're just getting back into the swing of things. So the first match of the day is going to be Falcon versus Grombrindle, and then we have Hadres versus Zero. All matches are best of 3s, including the finals, because if we do best of 5 here, it's going to take far too long. And that is it. So let's get this show on the road. I'll let the players know. Hey, so Thorgrim picks first. So, and bans too. Oh, pick and ban. All right. So the players know the rules. We have the Sons of the Mountain champion here, Grombrindle. Of course, you guys have seen him in countless faction wars and tournaments. An amazing player. A dwarf specialist. His name today is Chad Thoric. Going to be facing off against the Dark Lord Falcon, so we'll see what he decides to bring. But all players, again, can bring Ogre Mercenaries. So Thoric is going to be picking Dwarves and banning High Elves and Skaven, and now Falcon has the opportunity to counterpick here, and we need to make sure that they can do large armies. So if they want to, they can take, like, a 40 stack. Skaven characters like that, or factions like that, I should say, are going to be able to do that. So that's it. Yeah, more shiny loot, absolutely. Skaven can have a lot of fun in this format, as can Bretonnia. They can bring, I guess you could bring a massive 40 stack of dwarves, just like blasting charges and miners and like dwarf warriors and things like that. Yeah, should be quite a bit of fun. No, you cannot corner camp. We're still following the rule stipulations of standard tournaments where you have to engage at all times and all that sort of stuff. So there's not going to be any of that really nasty ladder shenanigans aside from, army limitations and all that. So, so they are being used. However, if I check box, I'm just explaining to Falcon real quick. Ogres can't be picked. All right, cool. So let's see what Falcon picks. And we're all good. We shall use it. All right, Falcon says, he's like, okay, Pierogi Lord. That's my name right now, is Pierogi Lord. Yeah, I was just in Poland, actually, and ate quite a bit of pierogi. It was very good. Yeah. Why is Falcon called the Dark Lord? It's just kind of a name I've called him for a long time because he's very good at the game. So essentially, he's like, in many situations, especially in like, tournaments, I would say probably like a year ago more so. He's been taking a bit of a break right now, but he used to be very dominant in a lot of tournaments he played in. He was basically like Sauron in the, the battle you see at the beginning of the Fellowship, just, clubbing his foes. But that's the whole background of that. Wesley, thank you for the $5. Welcome back. Hope your trip was good. The stream will for sure turn your day around. Hey, I'm glad to hear that. That's a very, very nice pun right there. How do you think the intro of Ogre Cab changes up the dwarf game? Yeah, that's what I'm actually very interested to see. I do think that Thorgrim will bring at least 1 ogre. So the rules is you can bring 2 ground-based ogres. So you could bring 2 man-eaters or let's say 2 of the 550 costed ogres, or you could also bring 1 Mournfang cavalry. You can't bring both. You can't bring like a cavalry as well as an ogre, but you can bring, one or the other. So I didn't want there to be a huge presence of ogres in the event, but in case players wanted to kind of spice things up a little bit, I wanted to give them the opportunity. So let's switch over to the lobby real quick. I totally forgot I was on the bracket this entire time. And we'll just kind of hang out while the players get their armies ready. I think I can see their armies now. I'm not sure. Well, no, I can't because I haven't clicked on anything. So here comes that boy. Ultra Funds. Let the pickles be tickled. Would you say the Silence and the Fury was a roaring success or a mooing success? I would say a combination of both. Probably more of a mooing success. I think that the Beastmen got a much bigger boon and buff than the Lizards, but good for both factions. A lot of bugs, though, unfortunately. There are some units that are a little bit buggy, like the Troglodyte shooting twice, and the chariots, of course, for the Beastmen. Not all chariots, but the Wargore chariots being bugged is very problematic as well. So that's why I'm a little bit apprehensive to host big tournaments until that gets fixed. I think CA probably will be doing a patch sometime in the next 2 weeks, so I'm hoping that will be the case. Raw Cauliflower. Well, Poland was nice. Did you see the Total War blog post with the Nurgle concept art? Yeah, I did see it. Yes, I'm pretty excited for that. Very, very excited. Yeah, it's only a matter of time, my friends. Hopefully we'll be getting the game sooner than later. Oiva, super happy to see the stream notification pop up after a week. Yes. Yes, me too. So I would imagine we are going to be seeing Master Engineers, probably double Master Engineer. With this amount of gold, there's not really any reason to not take double Master Engineer, backed up by Thoric. Thoric is also going to be insane in Ultra Funds because he has a force multiplying effect, the Anvil of Doom, that essentially can give a big Vuvuzela shout to the entire army. So every unit in the army can be getting a melee attack buff, which is crazy good when the battle is bigger. So, yeah. I think, is Falcon going Dark Elves? He's just all sad. He's just like Dark Elves, I guess. Yeah, look at that. Just all defeated. Well, we'll see. Is this the first tournament since the Silence and the Fury? Yes, it was. I had to go out of town, so. Yeah. A bit of a mess for multiplayer, for sure. I agree. We got the Mighty Anticity in chat. We do. The man, the myth, the legend. And now we're just going forward to hang out. Yeah, it's going to be good, man. I really hope that CA does do a hotfix, though, because I want to start another competitive season, like a Swiss League and an ECL, but it's kind of like, I could do it now, but I'd have to put really strict restrictions on, like, Wargore chariots and other bugged units and things like that, and it's just kind of obnoxious to be like, you just can't bring this, or you can only bring one. It's very clunky, you know? So I hope they fix it soon. If they don't fix it within the next couple weeks, I'll still move forward and do it, but I'll just have to have stricter restrictions on some units and things like that. So, yeah. Yeah, Thoric starts the Dwa. I love it. Oh, Hadries. You always nail those puns, man. Really good. I suspect, though, that we'll see probably the Cavalry Ogres for the Dwarves. Just like one Mournfang Cavalry unit. I think that'll be fun. All right, so Chad Thoric is ready. Let's see if Falcon and his Dark Elves are ready. It is best of 3, so the players can take some risks, especially here in Game 1. And we'll go from there. Is the Tuscarora Chariot fixed? I don't think so. I think it's still a problem, yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. I don't think it's fixed, yeah. Just playing through Mortal Empires campaign and Turin Live, yeah. I'm looking to start another campaign too. I'm not sure what yet. I was going to finish the Beastman one that I started, but that was like literally a month old now almost, and I think most people have already seen Torox's campaign to death. I think a lot of people did it already. Yeah, so we're going, man. You know, heavy cavalry certainly has its problems. I don't think it's that new of a problem, though. I think people just kind of realize it right now, right? Like, whenever you charge heavy cavalry into, like, Black Orcs or Bestigors or, like, Great Weapon Infantry, they tend to get pounded pretty hard. Like, Great Weapon Infantry have been pretty good against cavalry for a long time. That's not to say cavalry are completely useless. Like, I've still played a couple games last night and in the past week, not week, but before I had left, and I was having success with cavalry against, like, light infantry, enemy cavalry, and, of course, punishing the back line. But, yeah, like, cavalry really do take a huge beating when they charge head-on into Great Weapon Infantry. Yeah, but I still think there will be some applications to use them, but we'll see. Yeah, Guac saying heavy cavalry has been bugged since Rakarth. That's true, and I mean, even since the Rakarth patch, we've been seeing heavy cavalry perform well, but just not as well, right? Because they have even more weaknesses. Like, there's matchups that I can say I would still go into those matchups, and I would be using heavy cavalry still, even with AR. I wouldn't say they're useless now, but I would say they're certainly in a tricky position. Yeah. Yeah, it's been this way since Rakarth. Yeah, that's what it's kind of felt a little bit weird for a while. But honestly, I still use my Knights of the Blazing Sun and my Demis, and I just don't charge them head on into Great Weapon Infantry, which, you know, especially if you're charging into high mass infantry like Black Orcs and Bestigors, like, you're going to get massacred. It kind of makes a sense in some way, because Black Orcs are like these titanic, like, warriors, right? So, like, charging a cavalry into them is going to be a little bit... I think I saw the testing video. I think Indie Pride did it, or Milk and Cookies, and he was charging cav into Black Orcs and Bestigors and elite infantry, but I still think they have some efficacy if they're used into, like, lighter troops, more for battlefield control. You're pretty sure Reiksguard lose to Goblin Spears on head-on a charge? Well, if that's the case, I haven't tested it myself. If it's that bad... Oh, what is this? Okay. Ah, getting a scary alert. It's the apocalypse alert. All right, let's do this. Turn this off here real quick while we load in. Yeah, we could do some testing, though. Hopefully it's not that bad if that's the case. Yeah, sometimes I use cav in the charge in the front line, but the best way to use cavalry to charge into the front line is a bait and switch tactic. So basically what you do is you charge your infantry to their infantry, your opponent gives the attack order to your infantry, and then you pull your infantry back and exchange it with your cavalry. And a lot of players won't have the reaction time to switch it back to the cavalry, and then they get plowed. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we got some wild alerts going on. Yeah, I don't think I'm pretty sure Reichsguard Knights will flatten goblins. I really don't think it's that bad. That sounds like it's blown out of proportion. But again, I'll do some independent testing, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. All right, so for the armies here, Falcon having some fun. Of course, it is a very casual tournament here. He's got Lokir Fellheart. So Lokir Fellheart, it's an armor-piercing character with breath attacks, and it has healing, at least. So over the course of a long Ultra Funds battle, it could be quite good. Aside from that, we do have an entire battle line of the Dark Shards, and there are a shit ton of Dark Shards. Look at that. Oh my god. Harpies in the backfields, Bleak Swords, a couple Corsairs, Witch Elves and Sisters of Slaughter on the flanks. Not seeing Harganeth? Okay, they are. Yeah, there's a couple Harganeth Executioners mixed in. So Falcon's army, basically Dark Shards, every single variant of Dark Elf Infantry, with the exception of maybe the Black Guard. On the flank, we do have the Death Hag Harpies to disrupt the Gyrocopter play, and Falcon has hired a couple Ogre Mercenaries as well, and they are going to be coming in with the dual weapons. So dual weapon Ogre Mercenaries, very cost effective against the Dwarves. Definitely gives the Dark Elves a little bit more stopping power. Firecaster, most likely to, I was going to say Burning Head Slayers, but it looks like it is a Flamestorm. Now, in Ultra Funds, Flamestorm certainly has some applications. Oh my god, Falcon went with like, that might just be a 40 stack. Holy shit, look at that. Nickelback, looking at this photograph, the Return to the King, welcome back. Hey man, thank you for the welcoming wishes, and thank you for the donation. Azel, welcome back. Thanks for starting with my favorite tournament format. You got it. You got it. And that is it. All right, so looking here at the forces of the Dowie, we do have Thoric, Gotrek, as well as a Master Engineer, a gun line of Thunderers backed up by a very light core of Bugman's Rangers. We actually have the Man-Eaters, so he went with the more elite Ogres for his mercenaries. No Cavalry, I'm very surprised. I feel like that'd be nice for protecting the Dwarven back line, but he went with the Man-Eaters with the great weapons. Giant Slayers, Hammerers in the back. I'm a little bit concerned about the Hammerers dealing with the Dark Shards. I feel like Falcon's Dark Shard presence is going to be really, really devastating against this Dwarven army. No artillery, no grudge throwers, nothing to really punish, those type of units here in this force. So that's pretty much it. Man-Eaters with great weapons being the asset to buff up this army. And of course, Thoric Ironbrow does have a couple runes. It looks like he has the big rune of Doom, the one that is going to be giving a huge force multiplying effect. The Bicep Dwarf is ready. And yeah, Rune of Speed, which is really good, and Rune of Slowness. The very cost-effective basic ones. We got Restock, Fiery Ring of Thori, and the Flash Bomb. So, all right, good luck, have fun. It should be a very fun match. We have Falcon facing off against Grombrindle, the Sons of the Mountain, a dwarf specialist clan. Many of those players are Polish, if I'm not mistaken, facing off against Falcon. And looks like he does have a couple Manticores up in the sky as well. Let us know your predictions. Is it happening? Yes, yes. Battle is upon us. Falcon's army is just shy of 40. Looks like he's at a 37 total. That's pretty intense. But the cool part is, for this tournament, essentially all these players are going to be able to manage this because, the players we've invited today are all, top tier players who've won, major tournaments, essentially the equivalent of GTs if you're looking at tabletop. And yeah, they got the micro to handle this. So predictions, I don't know. It's hard to say. I really do think the Dark Shards are going to be the biggest factor. I think after the battle is said and done, I think win or lose for the Dark Elves, I think the Dark Shards will be big players. Of course, Harganeth Executioners and different units like that are going to be good as well. It's going to be very important also for Grombrindle to have proper target priority. He needs to make sure that he is effectively focusing down the elite infantry like the Harganeth, because basically the Dwarf infantry can handle Bleak Swords and Dread Spears and, all these things in a pretty efficient manner. However, shooting down the elite troops is going to be much more important. So, the battle is underway. The firepower is being released by the Dwarves. The Bugman's Rangers shooting into the Harpies here, and on the far sides, the Dark Shard's getting a beautiful concave. So you have 4 Dark Shards here, all of which are shielded, if I'm not mistaken. No, a couple are shielded, some aren't. Okay, so it's like half and half. And he is shooting into the Rangers, should have a pretty effective trade. The Harganeth Executioners will make very quick work here of the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, and Thoric is going in for the kill. He's moving out. This is very aggressive, especially considering Falcon has a Lord that could potentially kill Thoric in your boy Lokir Fellheart on the Dragon. So Thoric is out here bashing them runes, intercepting the Corsairs, and the blasting charges of the Dwarves going to be following up. Fiery Ring of Thori as well going down. A very aggressive engagements on all sides, and you can see the Dwarven gun line in the backfield is getting some nice fire. However, The Man-Eaters with the Great Weapon still sitting idle in the backfield, have not gotten activated yet, although Falcon charges in his Sorceress to the Man-Eaters and Giant Slayer. She must have a Death Wish, because she is going to get taken to Poundland here. Oh, it looks like it was a trap. He pulled it in to use the big Vortex ability, but I think that it's not going to be as impactful as he thought. So didn't quite get that bread in, but nonetheless, the Dwarf gun line still doing well. Argoneth Executioners here being worn down by Focus Fire and also gunfire here from the Thunderers. And up on the top side of the battlefield, very dominant engagement for the Druchii. They have that very classic RTS concave, right? So typically in the RTS, you want to have a gun line in a semicircle, focusing in on your opponent's more narrow formation. And that is happening here. The Norgelming's Ironbreakers getting absolutely ravaged. The Hargoneth Executioners and other forces breaking through. I think Falcon is in a pretty commanding position. In the backfield, he has gotten the Sisters of Slaughter back here. And look at this. The Ogres with dual weapons have piled in to fight the Giant Slayers, who are buffed up by the Rune of Doom. What a metal shot right there. But nonetheless, it looks like the Ogres are going to be, they're not going to be getting their McDonald's today. They are going to be getting taken apart. A little bit of a blunder by Falcon, throwing away his 2 Specialist Ogre units into the Slayers and, all these elite anti-large specialists. But I think the value he's getting from the shards has been pretty good. However, the Dwarves are resurgent. They are here on this side, breaking through these Bleak Swords. Here we have Dwarf Warriors who've made it into the Archer line. And the Dwarves have also pushed up and through the middle, as Chad Thoric Ironbrow, as he is being called today, has moved up through the middle to attack the Dark Shards. However, you better be careful, because Falcon could turn around with these Dark Shards and really put some serious hurt on top of Thoric Ironbrow. Over here, Lokir Felhard actually having a pretty good time. Nice breath attack right there. Is able to melt quite a few of those hammers and also tickle the pickle here of these Bugman's Rangers. And now, where is he going to go with Lokir? I would love to see Lokir battle the mighty Dwarf Lord, but, time will tell if that will indeed happen. Lokir Felhard moving across, perhaps eyeing this Master Engineer, although shutting down the Dwarven guns is going to be a big priority as well. Here we do have a random Death Hag here in the backfield. Not really sure what she's up to. In the meantime, the Dwarves getting into the back line here. The Man-Eaters with great weapons, as well as some Dwarven infantry and Thorgrim, or Thorek, I should say, have moved back here and are making some pretty quick work here of the Dark Shard lines. However, the Dark Shards of Falcon have re-secured their positions on the other side. It looks like we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Dark Shards here, all of which are going to be functional in a moment. The Dwarven army is looking very, very worse for wear. I mean, there's no artillery generating sustained value. Thoric and the boys doing their thing. Although, could Falcon lose Lokir here? There's a lot of angry, half-naked men here surrounding the mighty dragon. And their Mohawks are out. And, oh, look at this. Gotrek is here as well. I actually just finished reading the Gotrek book, Vampire Slayer. I had a lot of fun with that one. If you guys haven't read it, it's quite cool. So, Lokir Felhart taking a little bit of work. It looks like the fiery ring of Thori going down. A bit of a miss right now. Falcon pushing in with some Corsairs and other supporting units. And the Flash Bomb is also active. Very, very good usage. Potentially trapping Lokir Felhart. However, the foul Druchii magic is being unleashed. Oh, if this goes the right way. Oh, the devastating Flamestorm tearing through the Slayers. That is pure devastation. That entire Slayer Corps just got massacred by that Flamestorm. Oh my god, and that immediately tilts the bounce power. And when you're playing on Ultra Funds, it is much harder to tilt the bounce power. It takes a lot longer. But that alone was devastating. And even though the Druchii did, quote-unquote, lose that engagement there, I really don't think that was a loss. I mean, that was devastating. So many of those Slayers got massacred. Now, the Dwarves do have a secondary kind of wave here of Longbeards moving in. The Rune of Doom has just worn off. In the backfield, Falcon using his Death Hags to chase down the Thunderers as well as the Dwarf Warriors. And here, oh my god, who would have ever thought in a competitive format we'd see a Dwarf Lord on an anvil trying to juke these shots from the Dark Shards, but he's having a pretty bad time. He's having a very bad time. He's on the run. The Dark Shard fire really unleashing quite a bit of firepower in there, and Chad Thoric is trying to get away and lend his support to this fight, but I think if Thoric sits still for even a hot second, he is going to get his bread buttered so bad. It's kind of looking like the Dwarves basically just have, you know, a couple characters left, and yeah, there's some infantry here and there across the battlefield, but the Sisters of Slaughter are certainly living up to their name. These lower tier dwarf troops not going to be able to hang with 69 of these sisters, that's what she said. And yeah, I mean, they're going to be able to cut apart the Dwarf Warriors, get on top of the Bugman's Rangers, and that is going to be probably sweet dreams there. I don't really see any avenues based on what's left on the battlefield for the dwarves to come back in this game. I mean, unless Falcon just wastes like all of his ammo on like dumb stuff, like, and just misses somehow with his ammunition. I just don't see that happening though, because the Dark Shards aren't like great on ammo, and that is a lot of the bounce of power. But I don't know, we'll see. So Longbeards, Slayers, as well as Gotrek are back here fighting the good fight. The mighty Slayer seeking his doom. Once again, he's pretty much always up to that. Is going to be jumping here on top of the Death Hag, getting a couple nice chops there as the Feral Manscore is afflicted by the Rune of Slowness. This is going to be slowing this thing down, but not really going to be terribly impactful here as Gotrek He's probably going to meet his doom. The Death Hag plus the Manscore should be very, very good here. Oh my god, another Flamestorm. This is going to be a thing of beauty. Yeah, it goes in, but it doesn't quite take that really sexy rotation that it took before. It goes away from the Dwarves. That's pretty fortunate, but Gotrek also going to be getting rear attacked by Lokir Felheart. Army loss is kicking in, and that is it. The Dark Shards, I think, were the MVPs. Devastating damage. I mean, the Dwarven Elite Infantry just got wrecked by the Dark Shards, I think. A lot of the Dwarven army did, and I would imagine that a multitude of them got over 1,000 gold. Thoric actually being taken out as well. And Gotrek will finally get his doom. That's great. Look at him. Good for him. He got what he wanted, and against a hated foe, exactly how you would want to go. Lich 109. Just thought, was that a weird alert? Yes, was it Gondor calling for aid? Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. All right. Good game. That is game one. It is best of 3. Lokir getting 3,200 value. Check that out. Hell yeah, man. The Sorcerer is 2,700. Beautiful stuff. Now, looking through every single unit is going to be very tedious, so we're just going to look. 1,000 here on those Dark Shards. 600, 1,700, 1,300. Oh my god, look at this. Like 1,000 gold on many of those Dark Shards. I mean, beautiful stuff. I'll kind of scroll through these guys, but yeah, it was a cool army. Very, very heavily focused on these missiles, and the Dwarves, you know, put up a valiant fight, but many of their units and investments, like the Hammerers and the Ironbreakers, were just so hard countered by the Dark Shards that I think it was kind of a doomed cause. He needed something like Grudge Throwers, Organ Guns, like some heavy Dwarven artillery, in my opinion, to really sing, make the Ancestors proud, and punish those missiles. But in the end, he didn't bring them, and he paid the price. So, all right, best of 3. So Falcon picks now. All right, very cool. So we'll do Prague for our next map. I'm going to have some water here. We'll keep going. A full 40, yeah. Pretty awesome, man. Piotr, no, I'm back in California now. I just got back yesterday. So I'm like, oh man, I'm so out of it right now. My sleep schedule's all messed up. And oh, that flight was so brutal. I had a screaming child in the seat next to me for the entire like 12 or 13 hours or whatever it was. Oh my god, it was hell on earth. It's just hell on earth, man. And like the air conditioning from the plane was like right above me, blasting on my face the whole time. So I was just like shivering. Oh god, it was the worst. I hate those flights so much. Yes, we're back though. We're back. Yes, we are back. So Falcon is going to go High Elves, and he's banning Lizardmen. I bet you Gromriddle will pick Beastmen here. Beastmen would be a really strong pick. Yeah. No. Look, Falcon says ban Lizardmen, but you get 2 bans. He says ban Greenskins and Beastmen. Much better. Yeah, I was going to be like, let him play Lizards. It's fine. I don't think I've seen Thorgrim play Lizards too much, but yeah. So he bans Beastmen and Greenskins. That's smart. That's very smart. Thoric would approve of lazy gunpowder and artillery, yeah. Yeah, I had quite a bit of kielbasa in Poland. We had kielbasa, all the good stuff. Yeah, it was fun. Melody Wall is saying, isn't it so impressive how babies can scream for 12 hours straight? That's exactly what I was thinking. After like the 2-hour mark on the plane, I was like, you know what? Those kids are going to get tired. They're going to be like, yeah, like 3 hours in. But no, this little shit was shrieking for like probably like 10 of the 12 or 13 hours, however long the flight was. No, I think the flight was 11 and a half hours. So yeah, about like nine hours. There was like 2 hours of peace. There was 2 hours of peace. But the thing is, there was so many like kids on the plane that when one stopped shrieking, the other ones would start shrieking. And I was surrounded by them. Like they were on all fronts. Oh my God, man. Oh my God. And you could tell so many of the parents just had like given up. They were just like, they have the ability to like sleep through it and just ignore it. Because they've been trained in the fires of, you know, raising a child, right? So they just are able to kind of like zone out. But, you know, not me, man. Not me. Yeah, it's brutal. All right. So we have the Sons of Sigmar coming in versus the High Elves. Should be a fun one. You know what that means? Hellstorm rocket batteries are most likely going to be a thing. All sorts of good choices. And yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's it, my friends. The kids are playing on Ultra Funds. Yeah, sure sounds like it. Sure sounds like it. So Empire vs. High Elves, a matchup that I've always considered to be pretty even myself. I would love to see like quad Hellstorm rocket battery. Falcon is going to be very good with high funds High Elves though, because he'll bring a big single entity goon squad with like just huge healing support most likely. I've seen him do this before, and it's very, very powerful. So hopefully Thorgrim will bring ample tools to deal with the monsters. However, in doing so, it does open you up to archers. If you go too heavy on handgunners, you can get wrecked by like Sea Guard and basic archers and things like that. So, yeah. The elves are upon us. Falcon is an elf guy, you know. In the earliest days of knowing him, his main factions were Lizardmen, all the elves, and then Norska. He used to play Norska, but not so much anymore. Norska is very, very outdated now. Yeah. Yeah, so it was just anarchy. Yeah, while I was in Poland, I had some good kielbasa. I got to spend some great time with my wife and her family, and yeah, and we had some treats, some kielbasa. I had some cutlets that were really good, pierogi, of course, all the works, my friends. We are back. Yeah, we'll be streaming pretty consistently for the next couple weeks, of course. I might have to go again. We got some family stuff going on, so you know we'll see. But you know, we're going to be having some fun, and there will be a lot of videos coming out. I recorded 3 this morning. It is a tournament, yes. And if any of you guys are just joining, what sad sound does Norska make? Oh, I have no idea. Here's the bracket for today. We have Falcon versus Grombrindal in the best of 3 showdown. The winner will be advancing to the grand finals. And then Hadri's versus Zero. Very fun match. We have the King of Skaven and the Dark Lord of Chaos coming into fight. So I would imagine we'll be seeing a 40 Skaven stack at some point or other. Hey, arigato for the donation. Really appreciate that. The Samurai Dog is back. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. And that is going to be the tail of the tape. Do you need to self-isolate? Well, I will be, Vladimir, but in order to board the plane. So when I went from America to Poland, they didn't require me to get a COVID test. I didn't have to do that. I am vaccinated myself, so I mean, of course, it doesn't make you impervious, but I didn't have to get a test. However, when I went from Poland to America, I was required to get a COVID test. And I had that, that would have been like a day or 2 ago. So it came back negative and everything. So in order to board the plane, you had to have had a COVID test within like the previous 24 hours saying it was negative or something. So yeah, that was the situation there. Sad Norse sounds. Yeah, I'm not sure what sad sounds they would make. What do you think about the new tariff meme? I actually think it's very funny. I think tariffs memes about Norska are hilarious. Just like with like Wolfric just being this like caveman that makes monkey sounds. It's really, really good. It's really good. Yeah, just like baboons like clubbing. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I know a lot of countries in Europe have different rules about like you know, when you travel there and all that stuff. No, I didn't have any layovers. No, I flew straight in from LAX to Warsaw. The Polish Airlines lot, they do a one-way flight, so I just do that one every time just to kind of make it a little bit simpler. And you know, normally I would be a little bit, you know, I probably wouldn't want to travel too much during these times, but we had a family emergency, so I've had to do it. Yeah. All right. So here we are. Ultra Funds, baby, on Prague, a pretty big map. It's a map I enjoy quite a bit. It's one that I use in pretty much all my tournaments, and yeah, that's it. Norska is pretty rough. Yeah. Oh, I got to update the score. Thank you so much. All right, so the Dark Lord will go up 1-0 here in this best of 3. And here we are. So if the High Elves are able to win it, Falcon will be advancing on. A statement I've probably said over 100 times in this channel. And here we are. In the backfield, very, very smart. Bolt throwers will be quite good at sniping a multitude of Empire targets, including cavalry and artillery. So Pensa Bolt Thrower, the secondary line is going to be a combination of archers and sisters. I'm pretty sure Falcon likes this format a lot because he gets to use all the cool units. Normally on like smaller battles, you have to be a little bit more min-max, but on Ultra Funds, you can kind of have some fun with it in my experience. So, yeah. All right, so we got Sisters of Avalorn and Archers. The backfield is going to be White Lines and Spears. Very standard, although a couple elite troops we got. Whoa, look at that. Quad Swordmaster. No, Penta Swordmaster, Frostheart Phoenix. Tyrion is the Lord. So we have the High Elf Chad, backed up by a Metalcaster who is going to be rocking Final Transmutation. So basically, Tyrion is going to be bait. He's going to be forced to move in, and from there, you know, they'll surround him, and Final Transmutation will punish the surround. It's a very, very clever tactic. Alan Bears. We had a guy from Poland in authentic winged hussar armor at a Renaissance fair last weekend. That's so badass. I made a Kislev joke to my wife, and the guy got excited yelling, "Kislev and Bear Cavalry." Oh, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. Hell yeah, man. I'd love to hear that. Although his name, you're saying his name was Vlad? I didn't think Vlad was really a Polish name, is it? I don't know. Perhaps it was. Maybe it would be like Władysław or something. Yeah. If we got any Polish folks in chat, let me know. I'm sure there's a version in Polish. That's probably like the shortened version. You have like Stanisław and, you know, a lot of names, I suppose, yeah. All right, so that's going to be it for the army. We got bolt throwers in the backfield. And aside from that, for Chad Thorek and the Sons of Sigmar, it is going to be Hellstorm rocket batteries, which I love because they actually outrange bolt throwers heavily. So you can at least get like 3 or 4 volleys off before the bolt throwers can reach you, which I think is very nice. Flagellants defending. We got Demogryph Knights with halberds, great swords in the back, huntsmen and archers. It looks like, no, actually basic Sigmarite archers. Balthazar Gelt up in the sky and a Templehof Luminarch. Oh yeah, dude, talk dirty. Talk dirty. This is going to be fun. Gelt and a Luminarch with Hellstorms against a mighty High Elf Legion. Yeah, I didn't think Vlad is a Polish name. Yeah, correct. Piotr says Władysław is the Polish version. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Władysław, yeah. Sorry if I mangled it. I'm getting better at reading Polish, but yeah. It's time, man. Predictions. Let us know in chat. Where does your allegiance lie? Are you a Son of Sigmar? Here with Chad Thorek, aka Grombrindle, or are you you enjoy that kind of comfy life on Ulthuan? If that's your thing, then Falcon's your man. Let us know who you're rooting for in chat. We got the Frostheart Phoenix. We do have double Great Eagle as well. Now, normally when you see High Elves on Ultra Funds tournaments, there's going to be a heavy abuse of healing, like just using like Larry with a bunch of monsters and just expensive units. But yeah, this is very much a Falcon kind of build. Having some fun. Should be great. Luminarch talking dirty. Oh yeah, it's time. It's time. Luminarch talking dirty. Turn. You turned me on. Let me fire my big shot. The shot fizzles out and misses. Yeah, it's very accurate. Very accurate. You almost got it perfect. Just a slight accent. Yeah, that's what I figured. I learned some fun Polish while I was out there. I try and learn a little bit of Polish every time I go out there. But it's a very, very hard language. There's a lot of exceptions in the language, you know, and that makes it pretty tough for me, but still getting there. Holy shit! Sigmar is raining his hot load here on this High Elf army. As you can see, the archers are being bombarded by the Hellstorm rocket batteries. However, he needs to make sure that the Hellstorms are shooting the sisters. The basic archers aren't really a threat, but the sisters have a lot of stopping power, so making sure to focus them down is going to be quite nice. But again, the big payload coming in, the classic Falcon overload coming up and around. So you can see the Eagles and Tyrion and all these different units making their way up and over and around. Is going to be classic Falcon, just trying to overload a flank, right? So here comes the Hellstorms. The High Elves are a little bit bunched up here. A slight mistake here by Falcon's forces. The way they're moving, they're kind of stacking on top of each other, which means that Hellstorms will be able to get more value, and archers immediately are paying the price. However, Falcon is now in range. So the bolt throwers are going to be shooting at what? Are they going to go after the Hellstorms? Yes, they're going after the Sunmaker. Not the Luminarch yet, but the time will come. So here comes the first big flank fight. It looks like some Demogryph Knights from Chad Thorek have heavily overextended. A little bit of a mistake here by Thorek. He's basically sent these Demogryph Knights to their doom. Yes, they will kill a couple Reavers and do some damage on the fight. They need to get away, though, because now we have a big force coming in. Great Eagles. We have, Tyrion here, a lot of cavalry units. They do have some support via the Tattersouls, but overall, this is going to be a big win for Falcon. But will the Empire be getting more value? Oh, where's this Luminarch shot going? Just in time. Oh, look at this. And Balthazar Gelt's coming over, and the Luminarch shot hits a tree. Oh, just the ultimate blue ball every single time. Nonetheless, Balthazar Gelt could turn the tide here if he has an overcasted Final Transmutation, which he does. And it looks like the Demogryph Knights are holding firm. This is going to be so good. This is going to hit the Eagles, hit Tyrion, it hits everything. It hits the Frostheart Phoenix as well as the Spearmen moving in, giving the Empire a pretty advantageous fight in that particular engagement. Now, aside from that, High Elf Bolt Throwers have done some pretty devastating damage against the Sunmaker, which is now just about offline. State Troopers and Halberds and Greatswords moving into the front line, while Demogryph Knights also hammer into the front line. These are Halberds, but still will provide armor piercing and mass to this particular fight, and hopefully we'll be able to kind of trade these things up here. Now, looking back to the flank engagement, the overcasted Final Transmutation, very, very good value, bringing down the Frostheart Phoenix. The Eagles are both at like half health, and the Demis are still kind of going here, as well as the Tattersouls. So overall, I think the Empire was able to kind of turn that engagement. And yeah, the Sunmaker is gone, but like for the most part, it got good value from its ammunition. Now, it looks like the Luminarch, though, is being hunted. Does it have its net ability? It's really going to want this right now. Also, I think the Empire needs to commit some Demogryph Knights. And it looks like there are some Demis back here, so Thorgrim does have those. Not Thorgrim, excuse me. Grombrindle going under the name Thoric today. does have them nearby, but Falcon is methodically getting his way back into this game. It's very much like watching very high-level wrestlers, recover from a bad initial striking engagement in MMA, right? Sometimes they'll take a beating, but over the course of the rest of the rounds, they'll wrestle their opponents down. And is that going to be another final transmutation? Goddamn, Joe Rogan. It gets everything. It hits the Phoenixes, and the Demogryph Knights are melting the Phoenix in tandem with that final transmutation. This big bird is going to be getting cooked, and I'm pretty sure it should be going down here. I mean, its HP has got to be to the point of shattering. One bird is fallen, and now I think the Demogryph Knights are going to be swooping in to deal with the Frostheart Phoenix. Very nice picks. And look at this. Even Balthazar Gelt's getting in to try and peel off this Great Eagle, and the Templeoff Luminarch stabilizes once again. But aside from that, High Elves look to actually be grinding pretty well in the front line. Now that the elite troops have gotten in, the Swordmasters of Hoeth have pushed through. They've gotten through a lot of infantry now into some of the range units. A lot of High Elf units are really starting to make their way up into the secondary. But the Empire does have reserves as well as greatswords and halberds piling in. And the bolt throwers are all still functional. So going into the late game, having this kind of ammunition here on the bolt throwers could be the big factor as to who's able to win in the late game. Frostheart Phoenix going for the kill. It looks like it's going to be committing all in to try and finish off this Templeoff Luminarch. Balthazar Gelt going to be trying his staff once again to intercept the bird, and it looks like he does, but he hits like a wet noodle. I mean, he's got, 264 strength with the debuffs from the Phoenix right now, so not going to be terribly impactful. Very close fight, though. This has been a great game. So far, the Templeoff Luminarch probably has accrued 0 value, I would imagine. 59 value, pretty good. But, if Thoric can save this, if Gromberndal can save this bad boy for later stages, I mean, it could come back and be a player, but overall, the Templeoff Luminarch has been pretty terrible, and yeah, I mean, that's to be expected. Although it did occupy a lot of Falcon's attention, so you do have that going for you, but yeah. Falcon's bolt throwers, I think, will be the big deciding factor, because now the Empire's Hellstorms have kind of blown their loads. Even though there are a couple left, the bolt throwers are going to be getting just heavy volley fire on a multitude of targets. Also, Tyrion is going to be pretty impactful compared to Balthazar Gelt. Gelt also has blown a hot load here. With his double, final transmutations, he doesn't really have a lot left to bring to the battlefield, whereas Tyrion hasn't even had his rebirth yet. So Tyrion does have the Heart of Avalorn. He can come back. He's doing a good job leading his troops into battle, and it looks like the Sons of Sigmar are going to be falling apart. We got a bunch of archers in the backfield, Sisters of Avalorn. The Hellstorm rocket batteries were great, though. I think they were a very good choice. I think that Gelt, his final transmutation was pretty good, but I would have loved to have seen like Volkmar or something in the front line, helping turn things around and push into the archers, and then have a Mage of Metal or something like that, right, for the Empire. Wait, can the Empire even do that? Can they bring a Metal Caster? My brain is just totally foggy right now. Can they? No. Actually, I think Gelt is the only way you can get that. Okay. So yeah, no. I guess you're just looking to get the big blob punishment, which for this format is very good. I mean, I'm sure Balthazar Gelt accrued some great value this game. Let's see. How's he doing? Yeah, 2,400. Not bad. Really not bad. Army losses soon to be kicking in. The bolt throwers of the High Elves really dominating the open space. Any greatswords or state troopers that are forced to advance are being met with a hail of fire as they get into the secondary. And Tyrion is being just a huge Chad here. So here he comes, charging into the greatswords and the other troops. And his rebirth will probably proc here in a second. As a couple of the greatswords are able to make contact with him, I think that we will be seeing a proc there. And look at the spray fire from the bolt throwers. Yeah, the Empire doesn't have a metal caster outside of Gelt. I was just trying to think if there was. I think they should, though. Because in lore, the Empire does have a college for lore metal. Like I don't know why they wouldn't have that. Anyways, army losses kicking in. Falcon with the 2-0 victory, so Hadri's in 0. If you fine gentlemen are watching, please get ready. The time is now. Gelt did his piece. Yeah, like in the lore, how it works with the colleges of magic is that, if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure some lore folks in chat can kind of answer my question, but like basically, I don't know the period of time, but ever so often, like there's a duel. And the winner of this like big duel basically represents the head of the colleges of magic. So Balthazar Gelt is the most recent winner of the duel. He was able to defeat like this Bright Wizard who had been the champion for a long time. And usually, apparently, like the Bright Wizards like held reign at the colleges of magic, being the best duelist, but Balthazar Gelt defeated him in a magical duel, so he took over. So there is a college of metal. It's just, I don't know why we don't have that. I think in Game 3 we will be getting that at some point, so. All right. So, Gelt getting some 2,500 value. For Falcon's army, I would imagine the archers did pretty good. Yeah, a decent little spread. Bolt throwers all getting over 700 value, which is really nice. Yeah, solid performances. The Hellstorms were a great choice. Obviously, he kind of, lost quite a bit of gold investment on the what's it called? The Luminarch. The demis, yeah, did okay. I mean, 2 of them did okay. So I guess a relatively subpar performance from the demis, and the handgunners also probably all got shut down. Yeah, handgunners, demis, and the Luminarch really were the weak links for that Empire army. So GG, well played. The bird is alive, says Falcon. Yes. So we got Zero in here. Champion of the Dark Gods. We'll be on... I almost want to just do like a super small map for the first one, but that would be pretty funny. All right. Cool. So here we go. Falcon wins the series 2-0 and will be advancing on. And now we can go on over to the bracket and make it official as Falcon moves on to the finals of today's tournament. Hadries and Zero will be facing off in a best-of-3 ultra-sized tournament match to decide who will face the Dark Lord. And we will go from there. So Hadries is here. Zero starts with picks and bans. Good luck, have fun. All right. Let's do it. All right, let's get you a Discord link. Yeah, I need to update that. Sorry, I was out of town for like 2.5 weeks, guys. So I have not had time to fix that quite yet. Probably going to be waiting to do the ECL finals as well until the bug fixes come into play. Just a heads up. So, because doing it right now with all the issues, like having a competitive tournament, I think is a little bit rough. All right, so I think this is a Discord link. Let me get this. The power of technology is rough, but we will get there. Total War General, okay. Skilled, oh my God, Skilled is just the ultimate memes, huh? All right. There's the Discord. Enjoy, my friends. Looking forward to seeing you all in there. And now we can go back and update the nameplates, and we'll be good to go. So Zero versus Hadries. I think I've seen these guys play in tournaments before against each other, actually. Many moons ago. I think they both made it to the top 4 of UCLs and different tournament formats so often that they're probably familiar with one another. Zero probably eagerly awaiting his Chaos toys in Game 3. Hadries will be very happy to have Skaven here. So no unit caps, but large armies need to be activated. Okay, there we go. So Zero is going to go Chaos and banning Vampire Counts and Beastmen. Now, Hadries has the opportunity to pick his beloved rats. He could go with Lizardmen if he wants to try something new. Anthony Riley, it's a trap, according to your avatar. He says, welcome back, Turin. From Poland, always enjoy the videos, yes. Yeah, Jay Phoenix, I mean, you can play battles with people and, like, you know, avoid the things that are OP or busted, like the Wargore Chariots, but it's not unplayable. But the problem is, if you're in a competitive tournament, you don't want to have to, like, limit people so absurdly when it comes to, like, the Troglodyte bug as well as the Wargore Chariots. The cavalry thing has been an issue for a while, and it wasn't as devastating. Like, we had the whole ECL Season 6 was played in the Rakarth patch. And the cavalry performed pretty well in a number of my tournaments. Granted, they might not perform quite as they should, but it's mainly like the Wargore and like the chariot issues and like things like that. Yeah. Because I don't want to just be like, yeah, you can't have Wargores. You know, that seems really stupid to me. Yes. We're back in business. We're going to have a lot of fun videos over the course of the next couple weeks. I'll have some podcasts going up. I know I haven't done an episode of the Dreaded Haggard podcast in quite some time, but I will be doing that soon, sometime in the next few days. The AoE bug is also a huge problem. Go ahead and tell me about that, Jay Phoenix. Go ahead and type it in chat. Yeah, Melody. Wargore, they're not overtuned. There's actually like a functional issue with the way they attack things. And their splash damage is just way too good. Like a Wargore Chariot will destroy Blood Knights, which is just stupid. Also, the Troglodyte has a bug where it double shoots. I believe Creative Assembly said that's not supposed to happen. So it just does like... but that one's not so bad, honestly. It's like the Troglodyte is... I don't mind that at all. Like, it's not that bad. But the Wargore Chariot one is really, really tough. Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll see some Chameleon Stalkers. I do. I think we'll be seeing those bad boys. Yeah. They will arrive and give us a good time. I mean, Chameleon Stalkers could potentially perform pretty well against like Chaos Marauders with their precursor. Just like, you know, bring them down to like 70% and then grind them down. I'm not sure. I feel like Chameleon Stalkers might be a little bit overpriced. Tavinesh, I've watched tons of your past tournaments, but this is the first one I've caught live. Hey, I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. My nose is completely blocked today. My throat is really all scratchy from sitting under air conditioning for like 11 hours. Does anybody else get that, or is that just me? If I am exposed to like air conditioning blasting in my face for like long periods of time, it just makes my throat so scratchy. Like my sinuses get inflamed and shit. And this was from when I was on the airplane. I don't know. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills sometimes. Like I'm the only one that is like that. But yeah, I personally hate that. Oh, got it, J Phoenix. Got it. Thank you. Yeah, I was curious about that. Okay, so... Oh, wow. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. But yeah, I always get like a scratchy throat when AC is around. It sucks. All right, Zero is ready. The Dark Gods cackle once again. Probably going to see some Shaggoths. And Hadries with the dinos. Bring in some goodies. Yeah, airplane air is really dry. Yeah, it probably has something to do with the dry air, right? Yeah. Hey, Rubber Duck. How you doing? Hope everything's going well on your channel. It's because of the dry air. That makes sense. Yeah. I get that too. It dries you out. Yeah. Fair play. Fair play. I think I'm especially sensitive to it too. Because when I was, how old was I? When I was, God, would I have been 16? Yeah, when I was 16 years old, I had sinus disease. So one of my sinuses had to have a major surgery on it. And ever since I had that, my like left sinus has always been a little bit like sensitive. Yeah, when it gets like dried out or like exposed to certain things, it gets inflamed super easily. Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. But it's not just in planes. Like if I'm like in a car and like somebody's blasting AC on me for like a 3 or 4 hour drive, the same effect happens, but it's really unpleasant. It like really irritates me. Yeah. I had sinusitis when I was a teenager. I had like this huge like growth in one of my sinuses, like a huge like I don't even know what it would have been, like a tumor growth or something, and they had to remove it. That was some grungy shit, man. Oh my god, that was really really gnarly. Zero's like, geez, this is a lot of money, he says. Oh, I love it. Hadries, I think we'll see a quaddle. I think we'll see a quaddle. Samurai Warrior saying the first battle ever fought in Warhammer Fantasy is going to be represented. Yeah, look at that. Chaos versus Lizards. Although at that point, the Chaos armies I do not think had mortal followers. I think they were just Chaos demons. So not quite Samurai Warrior, but within the ballpark. Within the ballpark. Chaos is actually really good in Ultra Funds because you can bring a shit ton of Chosen. Yeah. If you bring a bunch of Chosen, you could bring like literally like like 4 halberds, 4 great weapons, and you just have such a meaty army. But Lizards are good at killing Chosen too. They have like banishments bound. They have a bunch of big dinos themselves. So they're pretty well equipped to deal with those threats also. What cheap infantry are good to upgrade to veterans? I'd have to really think about that, Mr. Thim. Yeah, I mean, usually I just do veteran upgrades when it's all I have left is like, you know. Because I'm always of the opinion that abilities and items are better than a couple chevrons, but, you know. There was like a movement for gold chevron goblins at some point. So... yeah, it really just depends on the perspective, I suppose. Yeah. I wish Chaos had greater demons. Would be perfect for this format. Melody, they will. Eventually. We'll be getting all the goodies. Yeah. We're going to be getting all the goodies. Should be nice. Jabba, no. The tourney, this is just a casual showcase tournament today. But sometime this week, or this weekend, I will be having some fun. I'll have some fun tournaments that are a little bit more relaxed in terms of their like best of 1 tournaments, you know, things like that. Yeah, we'll see. We'll do stuff like that. The quad hell cannons, I mean, it's a thing. Quad hell cannons could be pretty strong. Hadri's still picking his army here. I would imagine we'll see some troglodyons. I think the Skink Oracle is a must here for the Earthblood. You could go like Skink Oracle for Earthblood and then like, you know, Mazda Mundi or something, and then a Quaddle to get like a bunch of bound spells and AoE. There's so much cool stuff you can do. Do you want to watch there's a new He-Man coming out? Oh shit, I didn't even know that. I did not even know that. Is extra chevrons good for low leadership armies like Skaven? So personally, rather than investing chevrons into Skaven slaves and clan rats, I'd rather just get more of said units. You know? That's usually the case. But if you're already at a 20 sack and you have a couple hundred gold left, sure. Yeah, put it on like some clan rats or something. But generally, I'm not a huge fan of chevrons. Like, against either getting more units or items and, you know, that kind of thing. I bet the pre-order is Ogre Kingdoms. Oh, yeah. It has to be Ogre Kingdoms. Like, I know that, like, you're going to see videos on YouTube of, like, oh, what is it? Chaos Dwarves or Ogre Kingdoms? Like, you know. But I think deep down we all know it's going to be Ogre Kingdoms. Come on. Like, we already have the, like, models from the roster, basically, that just need to be slightly reskinned. Like, the work has already partially been done. Why would they, like, you know, go away from that? It's definitely going to be Ogres. I'd be willing to put a substantial wager on that. Mark Hamill is the voice of Skeletor? Ooh, that sounds fun, actually. Hell yeah. What about in Ultra Funds like now? I don't recall your previous question, so I'm just blurring here. The fact that Mark Hamill is voicing Skeletor immediately escalates my interest level. That is very, very exciting. I would like Chaos Dwarves, but I don't think it's going to be Chaos Dwarves. Chaos Dwarves, I think, are like a very strong incentive, like for one of the first DLCs that we'll get in Game 3. It makes more sense. And the fact that we already have ogres in the game, I think, is like a big... It's a big, you know, kind of precursor, in my opinion. Yeah. Noah Faye says, I'm torn. Hadri's is one of my favorite players to watch, but Chaos is my man. Well, you know, he is technically got the Skaven still to come. Yeah. Sotek says that Chaos Dwarves aren't the pre-order. Oh, okay. Well, he would probably know. All right. So let's take a look at the armies. And that is a lot of dinosaurs. Holy shit. Okay, let's go to Chaos because he's setting up his army over there. So for 0, we have the Soul of Damnation, which is, I think if you are going to bring a Hell Cannon, that's the best one because it has exponentially more ammo. Soul of Damnation has 40 shots, whereas regular Hell Cannons only have 25. So, new He-Man starts in 2 days on Netflix. Well, shit, okay, I know what I'll be doing. Sounds like quite a bit of fun. We got Chaos Marauders, Forsaken. It's just a huge army, guys. We can't get too deep into the tactics because... Yeah, and then we got Chaos Warriors with Halberds back here. We got Chaos Knights, Marauder Horsemen. I mean, this is just a little bit of everything. A Shaggoth, some Hounds, some Chaos Spawn. The Lord is going to be Archaon the Ever-Chosen. No Chosen, though, I don't think. He decided to go a less elite route. Yeah, we got Mirror Guard, Chaos Warrior Halberds. Oh, never mind. 1, 2, 3 Chosen, and Chaos Knights. Okay, so there are some Chosen. Archaon's going to be on horseback, double Shaggoth, and looks like the Exalted Heroes and Manticores. Pretty cool. Very, very cool indeed. So, my friends, here we are. The Lord of the Lizards here today. It's going to be Hadri's. He's got the Shredder of Lustria. He's got a Slan of Life to heal the Shredder. We got a Skink Priest of Beast, and the main battle line is going to be Saurus Warriors, backed up by Quad Razordon Hunting Packs. Check that shit out. Oh, yeah. That's super exciting. All right, I'm hyped, man. We got Croc Scores with Spanking Paddles. We got some with Power Fists. The double Arc of Sotek. And, again, Ogre Mercenaries are a thing here. So the Lizardmen have been like, hey, what's up, dudes? Bring us some of those basic ogres. So Hadri's going to be coming in with the double ogre mercenaries. Because again, in today's large funds tournament, I have allowed an exception to bring a couple ogres. So we got Pterodon Riders, Red Crested Skinks, pretty good against Chosen and Elite troops. Again, they lose, but they do a bit of damage on the approach. Not really too many new units. No Stalkers, no Troglodyons, which I'm surprised about, considering how good they are against the big beasties. But Razordon Hunting Packs could do the trick. And we do have a couple ogre mercenaries as well. So that's going to be it. That shall be it for the mighty lizard host. And the minions of the dark gods prepare to advance. Good luck, have fun. Both players appear to be ready, and now it is showtime. Let us know your predictions. Who do you guys think is going to win? Will it be the champions of the dark gods or the children of the old ones? Let us know your prediction in chat. If you guys are channel members and have access to your respective emoji for that faction, share it. So, generally, ogres are not allowed in multiplayer or tournaments, but today is a casual, kind of fun, off-meta tournament where it's ultra funds, large armies, and I've said players can either bring 2 ogres on foot or 1 Mournfang Cavalry unit. So, you have the option of, like, mixing in a couple ogre mercenaries. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, ogres are going to be probably most likely not allowed in any competitive tournaments. Yeah, because it kind of like throws the balance of certain factions off pretty hardcore. Like if dwarves can have Mournfang Cavalry, it takes away their like one weakness. There's like stuff that would be a little bit oppressive. Yeah. Brandon, hey, appreciate that. Melody Wallace repping the Mazda Mundi in chat. That's what's up. Wesley Needs a Troglodon model. No Troglodons. I'm pretty surprised. I expected to maybe see the Oracle, but the Arcs of Sotek will have their work cut out for them. Check out these mighty beasts. Looks like we got 2 of these. So, pretty hyped for that. A ton of Kroxigors. Kroxigors, pretty good against Chaos Infantry. Of course, weak against Halberds, but against like basic Chosen and Chaos Marauders and all those different units, there's quite a bit of value to be had with those guys. A little bit of terrain in the middle of the map. We are on the Altdorf outskirts, but that doesn't matter too much because, again, it's just a Hell Cannon. Hell Cannon can shoot quite happily. Are there elite troops for the dinos? No Temple Guard. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, it's all Saurus, red-crested skinks. Really, the big epicenter of the battle line is going to be Razordon hunting packs. Those guys potentially could do some serious damage if they're allowed to sit and shoot. We got Andrew Lubansky here, dropping Kolek in chat. That's what's up, man. Strawberries your favorite salon? I really do enjoy strawberries, although raspberries are probably one of my favorites. I love raspberries. Delicious, delicious. All right, and here we go. The first Hell Cannon shot. Oh, never mind. I was wrong. There are a couple Temple Guard mixed in. Okay, so it looks like we have one on this flank and perhaps another on the far side. Usually people have symmetrical formation, so I wouldn't be surprised. Nice targeting, though. Very good awareness by Zero. I mean, with such big armies engaging on each other, like being able to spot like the one Temple Guard in that entire force is very good awareness. So Temple Guard gets blasted into the Shadow Realm, and the Happy Lizards are going to be advancing. How much damage will the Razordons do? That is the big question. Will they be able to get line of sight? Although they have a nice little hill here, right? Like it looks like I don't know what's happening here. They're all doing a little happy dance here. The Razordons shooting into aspiring champions, probably not the most efficient use of ammunition, but nonetheless, it does indeed send a message. And over here, Hadries does send in the Pterodon Riders to do a little bit of skirmishing, some rock drops perhaps on the Mirror Guard. It looks like he was able to take out a couple models. And is now pulling back. And I would imagine the Lizards will use their better mobility. Like, I would probably pull back this whole portion of the army and like move over here and try and overload one flank of Chaos and force Zero to have to react to your repositioning. Here come the Temple Guard. They have some of the cooler attack animations in the game when they charge in and kind of throw their halberds and do those badass jumping animations. I think it's really neat. So here they go, but very good play from Zero as well, pulling back, sending in the Chaos Warriors. Well, I don't know. They'll probably take a bit of a beating as well. But it looks like the charge order from the Temple Guard was still onto the Aspiring Champion, so something to consider. But now the Boxigors will be getting ready to go fisticuffs. The Banana Salon sitting in the middle. Arc of Sotex have engaged in the front line, and they need to get a little bit more saturated in to make sure that their Arc of Sotek abilities actually do good damage. And let's go ahead and see what's happening here. It looks like it's Pound Town for sure. A ton of the Boxigors sending these Chaos Warriors back to the void from whence they came, and they'll be having a pretty bad time against all these armor-piercing Kroxigors. Marauders and other units engaging, as well as the Chosen. The Chosen will be very good against Saurus Warriors, very dominant in that engagement. But Shaggus are now engaging. Archeon the Ever-Chosen has Burning Head, Piercing Bolts, as well as Fireball. And the Arc of Sotek has released the Serpents. They are here, very anticlimactic, but still will apply some damage and poison to those nearby units. And the Dread Saurian a little bit overextended here into the backline, but oh, that Piercing Bolts from Archeon was so good. It hit the Ogres, it hit the Kroxigors, all of those units, and did a bunch of damage. And again, big overextension on the Dread Saurian. A pretty potentially decisive mistake here. Needs to get that bad boy back through his own ranks. The Dread Saurian basically needs to just sit behind and play the long game, and then from there, the Dread Saurian in the later stages of the game could come back in and cause problems. But even though it is a slight overextension of the Dread Saurian, it's not the end of the world. The Banana Salon can overcast the regrowth on this thing and heal it up. Banishment going down from the Salon, and Hadries is very aware of the Dread Saurian now, is going to be pulling it back through his own lines. He sees Archeon and the Shaggoth moving in to pursue, and is able to retreat. Now, pretty rough backline situation. Zero able to get some really... Oh, look at this. Oh, it's just a massacre back here. The Chaos Warhounds are tearing apart the Razordons, and there's nothing to protect them. Oh, that's so painful, because the Razordons appear to be doing pretty well. Shooting in, providing consistent AP damage. Now, just imagine if all 4 of these Razordons were able to shoot into this Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. They would die in a matter of seconds, but now we just have so many of these angry Houndos coming into the back line. The Pieski are free, and they're just going to be jumping in to go after the Razordon hunting packs. Pieski in Polish basically means like a bunch of small dogs, if I'm not mistaken, but... Yep. The hunting pack's getting dragged down. Hell Cannon shooting in as well. Another Piercing Bolts going down right in the formation, and the Dark Gods push back with extreme ferocity, but it's still a very close battle despite that backfield situation. That's just huge. That's so much value, though. The amount like that these cheap hounds are getting, like the mileage you're getting out of those units by just tearing apart all these expensive hunting packs is just so good. So good. Now, Dread Saurian, though, looking to get busy, and even though he's in a very, very kind of, beat up state, I mean, the Dread Saurian can still get some huge damage in. The Life Salon is also nearby, providing some healing, but it looks like Chaos is starting to slowly take over this game. Having collapsed his flank, the two Arcs of Sotek here trying their best, but just being dragged down by, just great weapon infantry and a bunch of focus fire from some of the Marauders. The double snake launcher, so we get both snakes being launched there. Able to hit the Aspiring Champions as well as the Chaos Marauders. But I think it's only a matter of time before Hadri's and his army kind of crumble to this pressure. It's hard to say. There's so many halberds coming in too. The halberds would be just mega effective here, Bardzo effective. And Kroxigor's moving in. It looks like the Shield of the Old Ones is active as well as Earthblood to heal. But the Dread Saurian doing his best to get things back in business. He is able to break up that Exalted Hero, which is quite nice. And, there is a glimmer of hope if the dinosaurs can... oh my god, of course there's just some fire truck right outside of my house. Just non-stop, man. Yep, there you go. The horns of Sigmar blowing once more in the deep. I cannot wait to move out of Los Angeles, my goodness. And now, my friends, the battle rages on. Chaos Knights in the backfield swarming onto the Dread Saurian. The Lizards do have a very nice Death Star with a couple Ogres in there kind of mixing things up. If ammunition does run a little bit low, perhaps, onto the Marauder Horsemen, maybe that could give the Lizard Death Star a little bit more stopping power. And, I don't think it's 100% over yet. The Dread Saurian can do some serious carrying. If it can stay alive, let's see what value it's gotten. 2,200 so far, so getting to that point of almost paying for itself. Ooh, and a Banishment coming in. This is going to be good. Forsaken and Chaos Knights will be getting hit. However, that Dread Saurian needs healing ASAP. The Aura of Pretzel and Earthblood trying to keep it up. And the Arcs of Sotek doing their thing, but Lizardman leadership is getting a little bit fickle, and with the Dread Saurian retreating here, I think we're going to be in some trouble. 81. The Mighty Dread Beast! Is it going down? Yes, the Lord of the End Times and his Chaos Knights do fell the beast. And the Arc of Sotex in response are going to be launching snakes in every which direction, which will be very good against Marauders and Hounds. But I think the Lord of the End Times, his Shaggoths and company, will be able to surround and envelop this army. And the persistent grind of the Chaos Warrior Halberds probably will be too much to handle. So, GG, well played. It was a good proper scrap, but in the end, the Dark Gods will be cackling once more, saying, hey man, we don't need no DLC. We're strong, independent Chaos Warriors, and we're just going to be haggard and do our thing. Bastillodon getting dragged down by Archeon. The Dread Saurian, he did okay. Despite a little bit of an overextension from the Dread Beast, he did get, how much value? Like 2,700. Really not terrible. Didn't quite pay for himself, but, considering the circumstances. It is what it is. Arc of Sotek is down. Army losses. Here we are. And Archeon, the Ever-Chosen, cackles once again in Dark Gods, and there you go. Game 1, though. I would imagine Hadri's will be bringing out his beloved Skaven. Maybe we'll see a Beastman pick. Yeah, Hadri's definitely memed pretty hard that game. Bringing a lot of fun units, like the Shredder, the Arcs of Sotek, but, Hadri's is always a champion of the people, and he is not going to disappoint you. Fun game. Shredder, 2,300, not bad. Let's see what the Arcs got. Arc of Sotex. Whoa! Arc of Sotex are the big performers, baby. 1,900 on this one, and 1,790 on the other one. Hot damn, Joe Rogan. That's pretty good. Oh, yeah, look at that. Okay. For 0, Archeon probably did well. Yeah, 2,500 on Archie. Hell Cannon, 1,700, and yeah, pretty decent spread across the board. All right, so let's update the scorecard here. Boom. There we go. All right. So now we go on to the next map, which is going to be... The Arc of Sotex actually did good. They actually did very, very well for themselves that game. You know what? We'll do Galbaraz. Galbaraz is a good map. Upset. Lore Master of Sotex says, Arc of Sotex have a new poison type now. Oh, that would perhaps explain their efficiency, huh? Very cool. They changed how they work. Very good. Well, I'm really, really happy to hear that, because they got to do their thing, man. The might of the largest dinos couldn't compete with a lot of dudes with a lot of long, pointy sticks. Ain't that the truth? Yeah. Harrison Ford, hey, look at that. Get off my plane. Yeah, that movie's pretty good. That's a pretty classic one. Yeah. Harrison Ford, just the president just battling, terrorists at the end of the movie. It's pretty great. I think he actually Sparta kicks one of them out of the back of a flying plane. That movie plus Con Air are both really fun. Con Air with Nicolas Cage is an amazing movie. I might actually watch that this week. Andy, I'm really glad Arc of Sotex are good now. I'm very excited to kind of integrate them into a couple builds. Turin, hello. I don't know if it's... I just got back to California, so I don't know if there's a lot of like fires going on. Hopefully not. Yeah. All right, so we are on Galbaraz. Hadri's going Skaven, banning Beastmen and Vampire counts. Smart. Beastmen are going to be brutal for Skaven now. So that's a very smart ban. And what will the Great Zero bring to bear? Find out here on the next episode. Skarsnik blessed the Arcs of Sotek with his juice. That's pretty cool. Dave Chappelle gets thrown out of a plane on Con Air. Does he? Holy shit, that's a really specific memory you have there of that movie. That's cool. Dave Chappelle was in a bunch of movies back in the 90s. Yeah, he was in a bunch of random ones, like in Half Baked. He was pretty funny. I was like before he got really big on the Chappelle Show. The Chappelle Show was like huge. That was like a cultural phenomenon. That's what really kind of set his career. Yeah, Nicolas Cage has been doing a bunch of good movies too. Yeah. Well, the thing is, Hayden, people can first pick Beastman if they want to, but nobody has yet. Zero's going to go Dino, so he'll probably be trying to show us some new stuff. Yeah, Nicolas Cage has been doing a couple. He was in a movie called Mandy recently, which was really good. He was in a kind of a horror comedy movie that was making a parody of Five Nights at Freddy, which was really good. He was apparently just in some movie too that was really good. That got like really good critical reviews actually as well. Yeah, Nicolas Cage has been killing it. He also had a really good adaptation of The Color from Outer Space by H.P. Lovecraft. They did an adaptation of that story by Lovecraft, and he was great. That movie was really goddamn good. My wife is a pretty harsh critic when it comes to the work of Lovecraft because it's her favorite. We both enjoyed the hell out of that movie. It was really good. How's it going, Wicked? Yeah, welcome. Hope you're doing well, man. I know, we're back. We're moving. We're moving and a grooving. So yeah, Lizards vs. Skaven. That's the jam. Why ban Vampires? Vampires are pretty good against Skaven. Although maybe on Ultra Funds that changes, but I don't think he wants to like test that theory right now. So, Color Out of Space was amazing. Yeah, that was really good. Nick Cage has been killing it. He has. Yeah, I know. What better actor to capture like kind of the recurring motif in Lovecraft's work of like the descent into madness. Like literally like Nick Cage has done that his entire career. They should just cast Nicolas Cage in like every Lovecraft movie. Like if they actually did like a Call of Cthulhu movie where he plays the investigator, holy shit, I would watch that so hard. I would watch that so hard. Yeah. Hey, it's good to see all you guys. It's been a hard couple weeks, but you know, it's good to see all of you again. Any plans for multiplayer siege battles? Maybe. I would do it as like a video on my channel first, and if people like it, then we would do that. Who from Warhammer would you like to see in the UFC? So for the sake of answering that question, like, because if I say any monster, it's just stupid because they just crushes their opponents. But if, like, I think humanoid characters, I would like to see like a dwarf. Like, I would like to see Gotrek Gurnison in the UFC. Just like a jacked Slayer, just you know, getting in there. So that would probably be my purview. Yeah, Nick Cage is a very talented actor. That's the thing. A lot of people like stereotype that he's just, he's terrible because of, you know, Wicker Man and, you know, all these like ridiculous movies he's done. But no, he's actually a legit actor when he puts it on. Yeah. I think he's legit. But he knows how to ham it up too, which is why I love Nicolas Cage. Because a lot of actors take themselves very seriously. They won't take roles that are silly. But he gets in there and just does it all. Yeah. Yeah, Nicolas Cage almost was Aragorn in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, I think. I think he was going to be he was the first choice, and I think something happened with it where he didn't want to do it. And then we got Viggo Mortensen, thankfully. He was like literally perfection, but yeah, I think it all worked out. Like, I don't think Sean Connery would have been as good of a Gandalf. That's for damn sure. Ian McKellen is like perfect. I can't see anyone else as Gandalf. If they ever recast Gandalf, I'm just going to be disappointed. Like, it's impossible. You can't cast better than Ian McKellen. You can't. You know who I would have liked to have seen in the Lord of the Rings universe, though? Like, in the movies? I would have liked to have seen Patrick Stewart You know, Picard from Star Trek. I think he would have been really good. Not as like Elrond, but like as an Elrond type character. I think he would have been great. Yeah, Patrick Stewart would have been really fun to have in that franchise. Yeah. Yeah, Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage has played like Aragorn type characters though. He's done a couple like, you know, sword and board fantasy movies where he plays like a Crusader, like a Templar, and it's always just corny, but it's fun, you know. But like Lord of the Rings, you need a more serious, serious business. Yeah, Ian McKellen is the man. The studio also wanted Russell Crowe for Aragorn. Holy shit. Now, that could have been okay. Russell Crowe is a good actor. I mean, Gladiator is one of my favorite movies of all time. I think he would have been good. But Viggo is just... He is Aragorn, you know. Christopher Lee as Saruman was amazing, too. I mean, he was awesome. And like you said, yeah, I think he originally wanted to be Gandalf, but then they cast him as Saruman instead. Have you guys heard Christopher Lee's heavy metal Christmas albums? I wonder if I could play that without getting in trouble. Probably not. Yeah. But Christopher Lee actually recorded like heavy metal Christmas albums, which are like the funniest shit ever. As well as just regular metal albums. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the cast of Lord of the Rings wasn't like super famous when it came out. Yeah, that's true. Oh my god, Gotrek Gurneson fighting Brock Lesnar. That would be a fight. Yeah. Yeah, Patrick Stewart. If they gave more of like a face to the Nazgul, like an actual face, rather than kind of a shrouded cloak, I think Patrick Stewart could have been like the Witch King or something. That would have been really cool if he actually like spoke. I don't know though. I struggle to see Patrick Stewart playing a bad guy. You know, it just feels weird. Yeah, Christopher Lee is badass. He's badass. Yeah, and a historical album about Charlemagne, yeah. I've listened to that, yeah, it's hilarious. Who should play Felix and Gotrek? Oh, I don't know. There's so many good actors you could do for either of those. Gotrek, you need to have someone, you know, that's very much like Jonathan Rhys-Davies, in my opinion. All right, so here we are. Hadri's bringing out the Skaven gun line. And the lizards will be advancing. So Zero has a bunch of Saurus warriors. Holy shit, that is a lot of Saurus. So his entire battle line is Temple Guard and Saurus. Everything, except a couple skinks in the back. He's got 4 cohorts, probably just for flanking. Feral Cold One's going to be 5 of those. We got the Thunderous one, as well as an Ancient Stegodon. Ripperdactyls up in the sky. Are they Colossadon? Yes, they are. And it's going to be basic Kroxigors backed up by the Umbral Tide. And here we have a Skink Priest of Heavens, as well as a couple Chameleon Skinks. And that is it. Gotrek should be played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Holy shit. That would be a lot of a human to fit into that frame. Although Gotrek is like built like a brick. He's super broad, but he's just short. You know, that's how dwarves are described in the books. It's like they're built like middle linebackers, but they're just short, you know. There's a scene in one of the Gotrek and Felix books where Gotrek and Felix are imprisoned in Araby. So they get captured by this like, you know, I don't remember the name of the guy, but you know, they get captured in Araby and they're imprisoned. They get put in prison, and Gotrek like uses his dwarven knowledge of metal to find the weakest point in the prison bars, and he legit grabs the prison bars with his hands and bends them, like some ancient strongman shit. And all the humans in the prison, including Felix, are like, "Holy shit!" He's like he's opening the bars with his hands. Gotrek is an absolute monster. Yeah, so. Such a cool character. That one's actually really cool. They get captured and Gotrek gets put into a gladiatorial pit in Araby, and he has to fight a chimera with his bare hands, like a beastman chimera, which we don't have in the game, but he fights it with his bare hands. And it's a short story, actually. I think it's called I can't remember, but it's a really good one. It's a really, really good one. So anyways, you've seen the army. We got Kroxigors in the backfield, a couple Stegodons, and it looks like clever girls around the battlefield. And the Lord is going to be what? Let's see. Who is the Lord going to be? Can't find it. Oh, yes, Oxyotl. The Doomslayer skink is here. Check it out. Yes, absolute beast. Now for the Skaven and Hadris. Oh, my God. Triple Warp Grinder, backed up by quad Rattling Gunner, triple Poison and Mortar, and triple or quad Warp Lightning Cannon. Holy shit. That is insane. And now this is what Skaven can do when you have 40 units. Skaven Slaves into the Sunset, backed up by Chieftain, Ikit Claw, and Plague Priest. Oh my god, guys. This is just pure anarchy. I love it. I love Hadri's army. That is so exciting. I like Zero's army too. It's very fun, but seeing a proper Skaven gun line with like 4 Rattling Gunners, 3 Mortars, and 4 Warp Lightnings, that just, that tickles the pickle in a very special way. Mark Wahlberg is Gotrek. Oh, you wouldn't have to change his height. I love that. That's so funny. Who would The Rock play? I don't know who The Rock would play. Yeah, it's hard to say. You could honestly cast The Rock as like some sort of a, like do a CGI situation with him, like how they do with the Hulk in you know, Marvel, or how they do with like Azog or Smaug in The Hobbit. You could like cast him as like some big badass like beast of some sort. Yeah, that is a lot of guns, a shit ton of guns. But, you know, the Skaven could be swarmed as well. They could go down to the swarm. Plague Priest is the Lord. We got Ikit Claw on the Doom Wheel. Does he have any spells? Probably, no spell. Just Ikit on the Doom Wheel. Oh, he has Flensing Ruin. And then the Plague Priest has, you know, the summons and all that sort of good stuff. The Rock as Grimgor would be pretty badass for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Grimgor would actually be... But the thing is, like, he doesn't have, like Ron Perlman would be Grimgor. You would just like put some like makeup on his face, like some prosthetic kind of action, and like he would be good to go. I actually have a whole podcast on this where we talk about this. It was a podcast I did, must have been almost a year ago at this point, but yeah. This is going to be fun. I am very excited. Oxyotl will be pretty good against Ikit. You know, he can potentially just sit in stealth and just shoot at Ikit the entire battle and generate some good value. Also potentially good against like Helpit Abominations and things like that. I feel like this build is going to be very, very tough to work for Hadri's. It's going to be tough to pull off, but if he does, it will be epic in scale. Oh, look at this. Oh, and he brought Ogre Mercenaries. He's got the Man-Eaters with great weapons. That's really good. That gives the Skaven mass. So now if like a dinosaur tries to push into the battle lines, boom, Hadri's has got Man-Eaters with great weapons. It's like better Rat Ogres, right? Like Rat Ogres serve that purpose, but they don't have anti-large. And now you have the Man-Eaters with anti-large and massive AP to punch in there and just like beat down, you know, dinosaurs. Malekith, you know, I think in the discussion video we had, Malekith was casted by the actor who plays Loki. Because, yeah, Vin Diesel's a little bit too husky to play like a slim elf character. Because Malekith isn't like a big, I mean, he's slim. You need like a leaner kind of more. So the actor who plays Loki, Tom Hiddleston, would have been a good Malekith, I think. Yeah. Vin Diesel would be a warrior priest. He would play like Luther Huss, you know, or someone like that. Because there's a named warrior priest character. Or Vin Diesel could also be Volkmar the Grim. If you just give him a mustache and like, you know, dye it a certain color, like he would be a great Volkmar the Grim. Just as like, you know, yeah. Jim Carrey plays Balthazar Gelt. Yeah. Well, Balthazar Gelt could be played by a number of characters. Hadri says, sorry, that took a while to set up. No problem, man. No problem. With your army, that makes sense. Vin Diesel is Durthu, I know. He'd be a great Malekith. I agree. Yeah. That was a really fun podcast, talking about, like, casting. Hiddleston could be Malus Darkblade, too. Absolutely. I think they're pretty interchangeable. Like, actors playing those roles would be good. Elithanar, yeah. He'd be a great Elithanar, too. He'd be really good. Vinmar the Grim, I know. You guys remember how, like, the past couple weeks, like in the beginning of July, there was, like, just memes everywhere of Vin Diesel. Like, the family memes. You guys saw those on, like, Facebook and other apps and things like that. Holy shit, it was, like, all I was seeing for, like, 3 days. But you could do some pretty funny memes with that. Vinmar the Grim. I know that chaos is strong, but it's not strong when you have Sigmar. You know, you could totally, like, use that same meme template. All right. So, Warp Lightning Cannons, what are their targets going to be? Probably should switch on to the Stegodons, like, ASAP. Hadri's will have the Warp Grinders to really, really pop and lock that front line and kind of keep things in place for a period of time. But Warp Lightning Cannons are not shooting the big targets yet. A little bit of a mistake. You see Warp Lightning shots going into Chameleon Skinks and different things like that. Really, really needs to make sure the focus fire switches on to the big dinos. That is going to be super important. Some Order Fire tickling into the Croxagores as they get in range here. Warp Lightning Cannons are now shooting across the field, and this is a good target. Hadrius has a couple of the Warp Lightning Cannons blasting the Colossadon Hunters, which are a very expensive unit. And it looks like the Warp Lightning Cannons also now shooting at the Stegodons. So the Skaven targets are, pretty much doing their thing across the board. Oh, look at this. I didn't really notice that in the front line, Hadrius actually has a bunch of Storm Vermin with Sword and Shield. They'll trade very well with Saurus, actually. Rattling Gunners teeing off. The Croxagors taking a lot of focus fire from the Rat gun line. Ikit also sitting nearby, shooting his big laser here at the Croxagors. And I love the overlapping Skaven mortar teams. Look at them. Oh, that's so much firepower coming in. And the Saurus front line is getting eviscerated. And the problem for them is that they're going to be pushing into a losing fight. They're going to be moving into Storm Vermin. That's not going to be great for a lot of these units. Look at this. Warpquake and Seismic Snare is active, locking down the Temple Guard. And Saurus, they're all getting just pinned down by those Warpquakes, which is so cool. On the far side, Salamander Hunting Packs and Ancient Stegodons are now trying to snipe out the Warp Lightning Cannons using their ballistas. Rattling Gunners seem to be partially obstructed. Yeah, it seems like obstructed, taking fire. So a lot of them aren't really able to shoot. But I think the Teethbreakers should be able to draw line of sight here as they turn to face down the Croxagors. The Chieftain also sent out, and the Rattling Gunners, once again, have been able to begin shooting. And yeah, they're mainly just going after the bigger targets. So far, I think the Skaven Death Star is holding up pretty well. Hadri's formation is very nice. Everywhere you look, there's kind of a bit of a safeguard. We have the Storm Vermin Halberds back here. We have the Man-Eaters with great weapons, kind of sitting in position, ready to intercept these big monsters as Ikit Claw does engage them in sustained combat. Warp Lightning Cannons now shooting at the Thunderous One, and they are getting some work in. Thunderous One's really getting beaten down by the Quad Warp Lightning Cannon, and the Storm Vermin Halberds, as well as the Man-Eaters, intercepting the Summoned Feral Manticore, which will be disappearing here in a second. And now I would imagine they'll pile in and probably make pretty quick work. Oh my god, look at the Rattling Gunner fire! That is so many Rattling Gunners! So all three of them have turned to go after the Colossadon Hunters, which are kind of dodging it with some of their attack animations, but that was a lot of firepower coming in from the Rattling Gunners. And now the Colossadon Hunters are going to be turning about face. Brass Orb going down, or no, Flensing Ruin! You never see that shit. On top of the front line, Temple Guard as well as Croxagors getting hit by Ikit Claw's AoE. That is wild as hell. And there goes the Thunderous One. It is down for the count, and Rattling Gunner fire still singing. Plenty of good targets nearby as well as the Ogre Man-Eater. So the Skaven bringing in the big muscle to try and deal with some of the big dino threats. You can see the Ancient Stegodon here getting taken to Poundland and also Rattling Gunnered into Oblivion. That is a lot of firepower, my friends, as the Ancient Stegodon is broken, its HP just dropping so incredibly fast. And that Stegodon is down for the count. I think Hadri's and his Skaven Legion are pulling ahead in this battle as the Warp Lightning Cannons are more or less still online. I think only one Warp Lightning Cannon has really been taken offline here. Here we do have fire from the Umbral Tide in these different units, but overall, it looks like, business is rolling, man. Wicked in chat saying Flensing is a lot better now that it's bugged. Oh, okay, well, perhaps it's actually going to be useful now, which is good. The one benefit of perhaps having some bugs. Storm Vermin Halberds, intercepting Saurus Warriors, basically just holding them back. They have high armor values, and so 90 armor against low AP of, generic Saurus is very good. And the Rattling Gunners doing some really nasty work, as are the Warp Lightning Cannons, but is that going to be a Summoned Manticore? Yeah, it looks like another Summoned Manticore in the backfield here from the Skink Priest of Beasts. That would actually be a very good target for Ikit Claw to go after that Skink Priest. Oxyotl still lurking in the backfield as well, and the bounce bar is actually very even, despite, much of the losses the Lizards have taken. It would appear the Skaven are kind of getting worn down, because if you remember, in the beginning, when we were looking at Zero's army, he had a shit ton of Saurus Warriors, which are very good for that grindy fight. Even though they are fighting something they're not great against in the Storm Vermin, they can still win through attrition, especially against the Halberd variant. The Halberd variant isn't going to be super effective there. Plague Priest is still online, though, so we still have a Mortis Engine for the Skaven. As far as the Lizards go, you can see a shitload of bodies here. Saurus Spears and Croxagors and just a lot of stuff. And it seems like the Skaven have just started to buckle. In the last 30 to 45 seconds, something has changed. There's been a bit of a paradigm shift in this fight, as the Saurus Warriors were able to eventually get through the back line, or front line, I should say. Rattling Gunners kind of got forced back, and now many of the Skaven tools are being forced to, fight up close, many of the range units. Skaven will have some rallying units. If they could rally a couple Poison Wind Mortars to actually, start shooting into this blob, I think that would be the best bet for Hadri's, as he is kind of falling behind in this game. But the Mortis Engine effect is hitting everything, and that is very strong. We still have a Mortar Team here with 9 Mortar Shots shooting in, which is, blasting here into the Temple Guard. Man-Eater Ogres of the Skaven fighting the good fight, but they are going to take a lot of damage from Saurus Spears. As far as value accrued, only about 500, so they haven't been able to really find a good home for those big man-eating weapons. And the mortar teams are shut down. That's going to be the biggest thing, too, for Zero, is making sure to shut down the mortars or the Mortis Engines. And if he does an effective job of doing that, I think he'll be in a pretty good position to win this game. Very good Chameleon Skink usage, too. It's kind of been something that is very easy to miss in a normal, smaller funds battle, or large funds battle, excuse me, but In this case, they were able to move around and chase down many of the routing Skaven units because there's a lot of value on the edge of this battlefield. We got Rattling Gunners here. We got some right here. We have, Warp Lightning crews that could come back and be impactful. Man-Eaters chasing down the Chameleon Skinks, but not having the best time with that. You could see those big Ogre boys just getting absolutely mauled here by the Chameleon Skinks, which is, pretty classic. That's some delicious water right there, my friends. And Oxyotl shooting in. Man-Eaters are broken, and looks like the last of the Skaven Legions are going to be kind of falling apart here. A couple Eshin Triads looks like they were in the back as kind of a deep reserve unit, are forced into combat versus Saurus Warriors. Not going to be the best situation. Hadri's does manage to rally a couple Rattling Gunners, could perhaps be a bit of a glimmer of hope, but from the looks of things, I didn't see it happen, but I'm pretty sure Ikit Claw died somehow. I think he might have gotten, focused by Oxyotl or just, sniped by something. I don't really know how he died, to be honest. If Ikit was still here, that would be huge. Because leaderless Skaven is very, very rough. They're a faction that doesn't have the best leadership, so any sort of, faction-wide penalties to leadership, like having your lord die, is pretty big. Oxyotl rocking 1,300 value, not too crazy, but, he's gotten a lot of kills. He's probably taken out a fair amount of Storm Vermin. And Oxyotl, with his current kit, only costs like 1,400, so if he's able to, get a couple hundred gold more off these straggling units here that are running off the battlefield, he'll have paid for himself. So the Skaven making a valiant last stand in the corner. The Rattling Gunners shooting into the dreaded advance. And that's going to be it. This was a really fun battle. Really, really fun battle. Back and forth. Hadri's was ahead in the beginning, like hardcore. He really did a ton of damage. But the Saurus were very persistent, and I think that was the tail of the tape in this battle, the persistence of those Saurus warriors. Army losses kicking in. Zero will be advancing on to face Felcon in the grand finals, which will also be best of 3. Thank you guys all again for joining. It's been a fun day, some really, really good battles, and it's good to be back with you all, that's for sure. It is good to be back. So, looking here at just value, we'll kind of scroll through things. Warp Lightning Cannons all did pretty well for themselves, actually. Order teams, yeah, did great. Rattling Gunners, a couple of them performed. A little bit of hit and miss. I don't know how Ikit died. I'm sorry I missed that. It's usually something I catch, but overall it was really fun. Good swarming elements. Like, Zero's army was still like... It was the same size as the Skaven army, and it had like a lot of swarm and a lot of good infantry quality, which was really, really fun to see. All right, so Zero will be advancing on to face the winner. 2-0 victory there, and now we go to the 4-man bracket. We got Zero versus Felcon here in the grand finals. Nicola says, it's always like that with Oxyotl. You don't even pay attention to him for the whole game, but his blowpipe does work. Yeah, very true. That was one of the first things I noticed about him when I got a chance to play him. GG, well played. They're talking about the game. Hadri says, thought I had that for a second. Yeah, I thought you did too, man. Okay. Looks like Ikit died to the Croc scores. He got caught in the middle of a bunch of them. All right. Very well played series there. Close games. And now Felcon will be joining. All right. So for the first map, let us go ahead and do Bloodpine Woods. I feel like it's a very underrated one. It might be a little bit too small for Ultra Funds, though. I think it is. The deployment zones aren't too big, so we'll do something different. We'll do Castle Drakenhof. All right. I want to see some Beastmen today. Map set. Felcon, pick, and ban first. All right, good luck, have fun. We are back in town, hell yeah. John Cena as Karl Franz, oh my god. No, because Franz is a good warrior and everything, but like he's more of a statesman. Like a diplomat, and like he's a great warrior, mind you, like a badass. But like, that's not like what he's about. Like he should be like a character like, like Viggo Mortensen would be an excellent Karl Franz. Yeah. Ice Power, I think I want to hold off on the ECL Grand Finals until we get the patch to fix a bunch of the bugs, which I'm sure I was in. I am pretty sure I asked someone about that, and there's going to be something going out in the next couple weeks. So Ice, I'm going to wait till that's fixed because I don't want to deal with all that shit. It's just a nightmare. Yeah. Yeah, Hadri's. It was a good game, man. You put on an amazing show. I loved your build, and it looked like you were going to win in the beginning, that's for sure. Yes. Just best of 3. Yeah, the Rattling Gunners and the Mortars, like, overlapping fire was so cool. Brock Lesnar is Karl Franz. No, Brock Lesnar would play, like, a Norscan warlord or something. He would play like Sirtha Ek, you know? John Cena is a diplomat. Have you seen his recent apology? Yeah, that's so funny. Oh my god. Yeah, I did see that. That's really funny. Yeah, yeah, I learned when I was in Poland. I read a bunch of lore about various Empire characters. Karl Franz actually has really cool lore. Like when he has to run in an election against Boris Todbringer, and like how he wins over all the elector counts and gives these epic speeches, and and then when he fights at the Battle of Blackfire Pass and all that stuff. Yeah, there's lots of cool stuff. Yeah, Vigo as Bretonnian. That could work too, absolutely. Steve Buscemi. Yeah, Steve Buscemi could basically be your resident actor to play like any Skaven characters, Let me just double check, make sure there's no issues here. I see Falcon was like leaving the lobby here. Okay, looks like he's probably just resetting something. Patrick Stewart is Thorgrim? No, definitely not. Patrick Stewart would play like a wizard. Patrick Stewart could actually play Balthazar Gelt. It would be a waste because you wouldn't see his, acting on his face, but his voice would be great for Gelt. Yeah. Like all wise and just, calm and collected, and yeah, that'd be really cool. Yeah, we're just checking in on your boy Falcon here. Waiting for the picks and bans. Falcon, I think, messing with his internet to make sure it's all good. How are you taking the fact that we won't get any new previews until September? It's not that big of a deal. It's just just over a month. I'm fine with that. Because once September comes around, there's going to be like an unholy wheel of content, I'm sure. Like we'll be getting previews. I would imagine sometime in September, Creative Assembly will probably hit us up and give us like some sort of event to play with like Cathay and whoever they end up fighting. Like there's going to be a ton of stuff going on in September. Who would they base Sigmar's likeness on? Who would be a great Sigmar, not in terms of acting ability, but in terms of appearance, would be Chuck Norris. He's got that like semi-barbaric kind of look to him when he's got his like long hair. Chuck Norris could be like Sigmar's physical appearance, but not like his acting. Yeah, because Chuck Norris is a pretty, he's a fun actor, but not like, someone you'd want to be playing such an iconic character in that way. We're just checking in. We must suffer the silence and embrace the fury. That's right. James Gandolfini, yeah, he was a great actor. Shame he passed, yeah. Young Arnold could definitely play like a Norscan warlord, yeah. Like a Conan-esque Norscan warlord, yeah. Yeah, Chuck Norris is very old now, yeah, he is. He is, but I used to love Chuck Norris, Walker, Texas Ranger. I mean, I still do. I have a couple Walker or Chuck Norris VHS tapes right next to me on my shelf, which were accidentally stolen from, well, not stolen really, but there was a video store called Ojai Video in my hometown where I grew up, and it went out of business, and I had those VHS tapes when they went out of business, and I went to go try and return them to the store owner, and he's like, just keep them. I'm like, okay. So I have a bunch of like Chuck Norris VHSs. Yeah, it's pretty wild. They went out of business because of Blockbuster. Yeah, Blockbuster put them out of business. All right. Okay. All right, so we'll do Carrick Drawn for our first map. Good luck, have fun. Players should be all set now. Falcon will do his picks and bans. What do you think the pre-order is? I think it'll be Ogre Kingdoms, yeah. And I'm excited for that. I think that'll be a lot of fun. How's the hand holding up? It's okay. I haven't been doing too much the past couple of weeks, yeah. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Sigmar could be played by a young Arnold Schwarzenegger, yeah. Because Sigmar was like a barbarian, basically. Like, humans were barbarians at that point. Like, they were a little bit more tribal, so, like, it would have been perfect for, like, a Conan-esque Arnold. Christopher Imperioli as Rakarth. Oh, yeah, you're talking about Chris Moltisanti from Sopranos? Tony's nephew. That's interesting. I mean, Rakarth, I feel just has to be played though by Ramsey Bolton. So, oh, okay, we got High Elves versus Chaos. Falcon picks High Elves, no bans, and then Zero goes Chaos. All right, let's get those games in. Should be fun. Feel free to go Beastmen also, by the way. Just don't bring Wargore Chariots. I'm just letting him know. I think people might avoid Beastmen because some of the bugs, but I'm going to let him know if they can just go Beastmen and just not bring the Wargore Chariots, All right. Just letting him know. All right. Hey, Okoy, how's it going? Loving your content lately, man. And Okoy, yes, ogres have been utilized because in today's tournament we have a rule where they can bring 2 ogre mercenaries or 1 Mornfang cavalry unit. So they can bring 2 foot-based ones or 1 Mornfang. Yeah. So it's pretty fun, man. It's pretty fun. Yeah, Volkmar the Grim, man. He's got some crazy good lore too. If you guys haven't read Volkmar the Grim's lore, you should. It's so good. Like when he goes on his like crusade up to the Chaos Wastes to like fight Archeon's invasion, and like I think it's in Troll Country is where he fights him. And like he duels Archeon 1-on-1. It's so good. And like all the events that come after that are just so absurd and like crazy Warhammer. I've told the story many times on stream, but if you guys want, like, just go to Warhammer Wiki and just like Warhammer Fantasy Wikipedia and just read those stories. They're so good. Yeah, Peter, everything's rolling. We're getting by. Yeah, Hadries, I mean, the only thing that's really broken with them is the Wargores on the Chariot. So just play them without those and you're totally fine. Yeah. Because everything else, like, whatever is like... I mean, what else is really broken on the Beastmen roster, aside from that? I mean, I know there's some spells that are a little bit buggy, but that's for everyone. Wargore Chariots are a little bit, or Tuskor Chariot characters are a little bit busted up. But I mean, like, aside from that, like, I think it's fine. Vinnie Jones could play Rakarth. Isn't he... He was an actor, but also a footballer in England, right? Like kind of a rough football player. Yeah, Atomic Pepper. That's the story I'm talking about. Yeah. Hugo Weaving is Vlad. Yeah, Elrond would be a great Vlad. He's really got that feel about him. All right, so Chaos is ready. And it looks like the High Elves are preparing. Chaos is a faction that does very well in Ultra Funds. They really like to be able to buy all their elite infantry. And High Elves seem to do pretty well too, at least under Falcon's, guidance. So we'll see. Yeah, I feel like Vinnie Jones would have to be like an orc, yeah. Ever play Warhammer D&D? Yeah, not D&D, but I played Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, yeah. I played Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, which was pretty fun. I played that with Lore Master of Sotek, who was, I think I saw him in stream earlier. Oh yeah, sorry guys, I got to change the screen so you can see the lobby, but I mean, you haven't missed anything. We're just kind of chilling here. Oh, got to change the nameplates. All right, 0. Hold on, guys. Sorry, I just got so excited talking with you all. I kind of got a little bit distracted here in this game. All right, there you have it. Hit the ready button. Players will be good. Yeah, Cillian Murphy would be, or Killian Murphy would be really good as Lithanar, yeah. Bruce Willis is Manfred. Are you just saying that because he's bald? I think you are. Yeah. I think you are. Well, I used to say that Alariel the Everqueen would be played by the actress who plays Galadriel in Lord of the Rings, but then they added Ariel into the game, and like that's like who she would have to play, Ariel literally steals voice lines directly from The Lord of the Rings, like Galadriel. So, yeah. How much funds is Ultra? I think it's like 17,000 something, give or take. Yeah. Something like that. I know, Jedi Mazda money. It's treachery. It's treason. It's not like a couple Twitch streams I've been watching recently. It's like it's just such anarchy in the chat that it seems like a lot of streamers on Twitch don't even talk to people. They just kind of zone in and focus on their game. think Undead will get big reworks. Yeah, I think Vampire Counts will get like a rework at some point, like or an update, I should say, with Neferata, Nagash, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I do think so. And also you have a couple other vampire characters you could add in. You have like Conrad and all these guys. So, Ultra Funds is very fun, dude. It's very fun. It's a whole different beast. Hey, Soren, how's it going? The Techless emoji is strong with you. Yeah, Mark Strong is Manfred. Yes, 100%, 100%. I agree. All right, guys, and here we are. It is Felcon, the Dark Master. Well, I guess he's playing the High Elves here. So he's got 5 Bolt Throwers. We got Imric on the Dragon. The Lord of Dragons is here with the Dragon Lance and all of his abilities. I'm super hyped for that. Secondary battle line's going to be basic archers. No sisters this time. In the previous game, we saw Felcon playing High Elves. He actually went very sister heavy. But in this case, he's just going to be going with a couple. So 5 sisters backed up by a shit ton of elite High Elf infantry. We have Penta Phoenix Guard, Penta Swordmaster, backed up by a combination of spears and white lines of Krace. Holy shit. So those elite High Elf infantry backed up by the Vuvuzela of Imric is going to be super fun. I am really, really excited for this. All right. So if we look here at Ye Old Forces of Chaos, we got the Soul of Damnation, which is going to get destroyed by those Bolt Throwers really quickly. Double Manticore, Archaon the Everchosen, and Marauder Horseman in the back. And the battle line is going to be a combination of Chosen and basic Chaos Warriors. So we have Chosen Great Weapons, Chaos Warrior Great Weapons, and a couple Chaff Marauders in the front just to get massacred quickly. And Armored Chaos Trolls, very interesting. Armored Chaos Trolls, though, do have some application against basic archers, as they will be very durable with their 110 armor against standard High Elf archers. So that's kind of cool. I like that. So Imric here against Archaon. The Lord of Dragons speaks, and he is here. Let us know your predictions. Who do you guys think is going to be winning this battle? Let us know in chat. You can shout something in High Elf or in whatever you think the Chaos Warriors would be yelling, but do let us know your allegiance. I'd be quite curious to know what all of you guys think. Again, 0 on the Warriors of Chaos, and he is a Chaos main, but Felcon also is a High Elf main. Very fun stuff for sure. 0 does have a Vanguard of some Hounds on the corner, actually, so he's got some Hounds deep Vanguarded here. None on this corner, so yeah, man. Let's do it to it. I don't think we have any Sisters of Avalorn here. I don't think so. No, somebody in chat asking about that. Just basic archers this time. He invested almost all of his money into the infantry. Like, Swordmasters are expensive. 5 of those plus 5 halberds is going to be like most of your army. Very, very expensive. So, Vladimir predicting a Chaos loss. Okay. Okay. We got some folks rooting for the Warriors of Chaos as well. Do not underestimate 0. He is a very, very strong player. I've seen him perform extremely well in countless tournaments. He also has a background in StarCraft 2. Apparently a very good StarCraft player, so usually transitions over quite well. Chaos mostly speaks in the dark tongue. Okay. All right, so Imric lurking by the tree line. No artillery to really punish him, so if Imric is going to have a place to shine, it's certainly going to be large funds, because the bigger your army, the more effective army-wide force multiplying effects are. That's why I'm really surprised we haven't seen greenskins today. Like, WoW is so good on Ultra Funds, like with a bunch of Black Orcs and like Savage Orc Biggins, you can get some really nasty value, but we haven't seen it. We haven't seen it. Swordmasters trade okay against Chosen. Chosen Great Weapons, I believe, do beat them, but just barely. So, on that note, if there is any sort of buff you can add to your Swordmasters, like the Vuvuzela, that edge could probably give the Swordmasters the winning fight if it's active during combat. So there are a couple things like that. There are a couple things like that for sure. So the forces of the High Elves are going to be advancing. The Hell Cannon does, of course, outrange the Bolt Throwers with 420 to the 380 here on the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. So Bolt Throwers will have to scoot up. But the Soul of Damnation, what 0 should do is run it down and behind this hill here. If 0 were to run the Hell Cannon back here, it might actually not get shot by the Bolt Throwers. But in this case, if you sit it up here on the hills, you're going to be having a pretty bad time. So here it comes. Hell Cannon shot into the Swordmasters. Looks like they got very lucky. Whatever gods the High Elves worship apparently are protecting them today. A Vanguard deployment in the corner here from 0. It looks like, oh no. Or is that a tactical reserve? 0 may have forgotten an Exalted Hero. However, on these extra large funds battles, it's not as important. You know, if you forget 1 or 2 units, it's not like going to be like a game loss like it is in like standard formats. And now, yeah, 0 is running with the Chaos Dwarfs. So the Chaos Dwarf DLC is running down the hill, away from the Soul of Damnation. And yeah, it's still getting hit though, man. Those Bolt Throwers might actually still be able to finish it off. It's a shame he didn't push it down the hill right away, considering the hill here. So here they come. Chaos advancing, realizing the ranged gameplay is over. You know, the Chaos Gods are not one to, play all those ranged games. They like to get in there and fight, go fisticuffs, have those Royal Rumbles, have a good time. And, we'll see how it unfolds. Archaon the Everchosen getting bolted pretty good by the bolt throwers, and some of the trolls as well are now the priority targets for the high health bolt throwers, which I think is very smart. Falcon's archers teeing off into Marauders won't do too much damage, but, still okay for perpetual poking against trolls. I would probably get all my archers and try and focus down the weird spawn. I only have 10 armor, a little bit of physical resist, but generally speaking, they'll have a bad time. Rangers going to be engaging here into the Marauders. A very rare situation of Falcon actually missing a charge, as the Marauders do get the charge on the Rangers, giving them a little bit of an edge on that initial contact, but the Rangers should pile in and do okay. Hero Zero overloading the flank, going after these White Lions of Krace. They are attacked by 3 units, including armored Chaos Trolls, and Falcon looks to be organizing his cavalry. So for anyone who said cavalry is dead, well, you can talk to Falcon about that. But again, they're mostly cheap cavalry. Reavers, I think he has some Silver Helms. And the Breath Attack from the Star Dragon does go down and misses the Shaggoth. I guess it looks like maybe a partial hit. I'm really surprised that Falcon hasn't committed Imric to the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. I mean, it's by itself more or less, and with some spear support, it could do some really good damage. And the horn is sounded. So the Dragon Horn is active. The entire High Elf army is buffed. The Swordmaster is actually cutting through the armored Chaos Trolls with a little bit of support here from the Dragon Horn. Putting their melee attack to a pretty obscene amount. White Lions of Krace putting up a decent 2v1 fight, bringing the trolls down to half. Now Falcon is going to be reorganizing his forces. However, just like we saw earlier, Zero very good with his Hound units. And in the backfield, we do get the Chaos Warhounds with Poison jumping on top of the Archers, who are shut down, and the Mage of Metal for Falcon is trapped. He's going to be losing this, relatively expensive caster who has 2 items to the Mages. Beautiful catch by Zero, really showing that he is a scheming agent of Tzeentch. After all, as the Burning Head also goes down and roasts Spearmen and Archers. So far, some very, very masterful play, because Falcon committed all his cavalry to the backfield. Reavers are on the side of the Chaos Forces, and they're chasing and doing good work, mind you. But in doing so, he pretty much lost all of his mobile defense here. And thankfully for him, though, he is able to save that Metalcaster, but Zero doing an excellent job. Hounds jumping on top of everything they can, chewing on the Bolt Thrower crews. Really, really having a good time. Double Shaggy's moving in. Archaon going after that caster. And oh my god, Archaon with the steel chair on that Mage of Metal. But Imric with the counterpunch. Starlance is active. Oh man, 693. Archaon the Everchosen taking a shit ton of damage from that charge, but the double Shaggies are here. Will Imric's Gambit pay off? Will he stay the course? Oh man, Hounds coming in the back as well. Those Hounds are going to be a massive problem as they do surround the Lord of Dragons, and now Archaon able to turn around and Slayer of Kings active, getting some really, really nice punch, and it looks like to be a very, very even close battle here. The Mage of Metal did come back, I think, but then I think it got broken again by Archaon there, as it did take some overcast damage as well. And Imric is going to be able to get away, which, if he can finish off Archaon, that will certainly have paid for himself. In the backfield, High Elves, chasing down the Trolls, which is very strong. Also, it looks like the Hell Cannon was taken offline, so these Reavers are doing an effective job at backfield disruption. And the High Elf Infantry seem to be doing well. I mean, Swordmaster is still grinding here, Phoenix Guard, Elite Troops. All I see if I look at this particular area of the battlefield is essentially just wavering Chaos Forces. And Imric is back up in the sky once again, and unfortunately I don't think Falcon brought any healing. Imric without healing is a very, very risky proposition, but even still, the Lord of Dragons is dominating this flying fight, despite being very damaged. I mean, Imric has crazy good dueling stats. And this Manticore is probably going to get broken by Imric. Imric takes a hit there, but he is not going quietly, as this Exalted Hero is just getting dominated by the Lord of Dragons. 197, that thing is done for, and Imric finishes off the Exalted Hero. And now that opens up a lot for him. Is he going to go for the killing blow on Archaon? The Dragon Horn is active. Breath attack. It's going to be a breath attack. Is Archaon going to dodge it? Archaon takes a little bit, but good control by Zero. He is able to get away from that. If he had not moved, that could have put him down to the danger zone. And it looks like the High Elves, led by the Lord of Dragons, Imric, are getting back into this game as they're actually dominating many of the infantry engagements. The Chosen, there was only a couple. I saw 4 Chosen. And it's 4 Chosen against 5 Swordmasters and 4 Phoenix Guard. So for Chaos, the units that really need to carry the game are Archaon and the Shaggoths. But in this case, there's a ton of Spears and Phoenix Guard. And Imric has just been an absolute beast this game, which is something you don't really hear in traditional games. But in Ultra Funds, he's given more of an opportunity to shine here, as he's already accrued about 2,500 value. Now, just imagine if this Imric had healing. Also, mind you, Falcon didn't really even get the chance to do a good final transmutation. So this is smart. Keep Imric in the air. Don't give your opponent anything for free. Use your bolt throwers, which are more or less back online, to just pick off these units. Archaon is very low. He's getting shot by bolt throwers. Probably going to break here as another bolt thrower shot just kind of chases him there. right in the back down to 250, and I think it's only a matter of time before the High Elves actually pull out the victory in this game. Look at this. Dragon Ogre Shaggy's kind of getting poked. Not enough good infantry for Chaos this game. They really did seem to get dominated in the infantry engagement. The Sword Masters of Hoth here finish off the last of these Chaos Warriors. We have a bunch of Phoenix Guards still active. The Bolt Thrower line, despite the early compromise from the Hounds, which was really good by 0, are back online. And that breath attack able to really melt those Shaggots, breaking their leadership. And look at that, Imric breaths one of them and then charges into the other, using Lord of Dragons to break its stats, basically. And that is going to be the battle won for the Lord of Dragons, as Imric, the Prince, has done it. And the Shaggies are broken and running, and the Chaos Dwarves are the last to be seen. Well, that was really fun. If you guys enjoyed that match, make sure to drop a like on the stream. It does help out quite a bit. As cringy as I think it is to ask for such things, it does help more people find our community and helps multiplayer, stay strong. So, Archaon 2000, Exalted Heroes really got dominated for sure. I love the trolls though too. Like the Chaos Trolls, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the infantry was just so good for High Elves. Look at that. 5 White Lions, 5 Sword Masters, and 5 Phoenix Guard. Holy shit. I mean, talk about a metal army. Like that infantry quality compared to Chaos, like that was just too much. And the Trolls were okay, but against like that many Phoenix Guard, Spears, and Bolt Throwers, like they're going to have a really bad time. Really bad time. All right. So Prince Imric with about 3,000 value, more close to paying for himself. Not quite. But Falcon will go up 1-0 in this best of 3. If he wins this, the series is over. We will see. We will see. Hopefully we see a Beastman. All right. So now 0 will be up to pick. I really hope that he does pick the Beastmen. We haven't seen him yet today. I hope to get at least one game with the new Beastmen. Just don't use the Tuskor Chariot characters, and I think we'll be fine. The Chad Dragon Lord. Yeah, he was. He was. Archaon with the improved Frenzy. Oh, yeah. I want to go... Okay, let's see. So what's 0 going to pick? 0 still has bans. I want to see Beastmen. I want some cow sounds. Hey Misha, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. All right. This is it. Cowboy Bob? No, unfortunately not. But I'm sure we'll get something in the next couple weeks. All right, greenskins are coming in. And Falcon wants to play Dark Elves. He's been playing High Elves and Dark Elves like all day and winning with them, which is pretty impressive. Oh, yeah. There we go. So, my friends, Imric was fun to play in tabletop. Yeah, was he? Did he have a really cool mount? I wonder what the Imric model looks like. I'll go Beastman and ban Lizards and Skaven. Okay. So, Falcon's going to go Dark Elves. We're on Iron Sand Desert, pretty close quarters map, but I would imagine Falcon will just go like a million Dark Shards again. We saw that earlier. It was very strong. Very strong. Hey, Morn. I'm glad you think so, because I feel like absolute death today from that friggin' flight I was on, but... And the time zone difference, too. Yeah, it all gets you. When I was in Poland, every day at like 5 or 6 p.m., I was like, holy shit, it'd be so nice to just stream right now instead of streaming in the mornings and stuff. I was like, that'd be pretty prime time. Just get up, have a coffee, have a nice relaxed day, and then stream, But, typically with people who watch Total War, people are usually in Europe or other parts of the world, so, or more so. You gotta stream early. No moving sounds, only sad moving sounds. Yeah. Well, Captain Melon, you could bring 2 Jabber Scythes. They could be good. But on large funds, they're also pretty big targets, too, for a lot of missiles. Turin confirmed Undead Scum, yeah. Yeah. I wanted some Beastmen, but it's okay. I understand. Oh, 0 is going Beastmen. Oh. Shit, I didn't see that. Okay, so he is going Beastmen, but his icon looks like greenskins right now. Yeah. Maybe he just forgot to switch. I don't see how you could do that. Or maybe he's AFK. No, it looks like we do get Beastmen. Yeah, sorry guys, I didn't see that. Morn, thank you for the fiber. The mighty Morn speaks. DS9 is here. I'd love some Beastmen though, from a particularly selfish position. I'll give him a big proper mood just to set the mood here. He might have disconnected too. Let me go ahead and double check here. Maybe the lobby is bugged too. That does happen from time to time. Oh, looks like we're okay. Looks like we're okay. Any lobby bugs? Let's give it a minute. All right, so we'll let this go for a minute, and we'll see if there was an issue with the lobby. Perhaps sometimes people can freeze and things like that. How's the hand? It's doing okay, Piotr. Thank you for asking. I can play myself now. Yeah, I can play. Yeah, like I have a couple replays going up from games I played in and things like that. So yeah. We thought you were frozen. Are you Beastman or Greenskins? Cool. Yeah, I can play. We'll be getting back to the... Sounds good. All right, so he is playing Greenskins. So no sad moves, but don't worry. I have plenty of Beastman replays coming up, and I'm sure you guys need a break from Beastman anyways. Like, they've been getting featured a lot in pretty much everyone's channels, I think. Yeah. But I'll be getting back to doing Warcraft 3 streams this week. Yeah, we'll do a couple of those at night. That'd be awesome. Yeah, Vulcan. Deep Space Nine is one of my favorite shows of all time. I love it. It's so good. It was like therapeutic watching it. There was a couple of things I didn't love at the end of Deep Space Nine. But like generally like the show was so good that I could pretty much overlook them. All right, so Dark Elves versus Greenskins. Matchup that, probably has been Greenskin favored in the past, but on Ultra Funds, everything kind of goes out the window of the meta we understand. That everything changes. It's a whole different format. I could do... I like the idea of Ultra Funds from a tournament perspective, but it takes so long to get the games in. So for doing like a 50, 60-man tournament with Ultra Funds, it's going to be a little bit problematic. So what I could do, if like the community wanted to do an Ultra Funds tournament, I could do one, but it's best of one. And the finals are best of 3. So basically the stream would be like, or maybe once you get to top 4, it becomes best of 3. But aside from that, it could be like a best of 1 tournament where you pick a faction and play all the way through. And then once you get to the finals, you can like pick and ban in a normal fashion. So it's like a faction war style thing, but then everyone could participate in the Ultra Funds. I think that'd be kind of cool. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Would you like that? Henry Brooks, thank you for the $10 donation. Greatly appreciate that. Yeah. Greatly appreciate it. I don't see a message, but Henry, appreciate it nonetheless. Cipe, we've had dwarves today. We've had 2 dwarf games. Yeah, or 3 even. We had a lot of dwarves today. Yeah. We've had a lot. Oh my god, yeah. Kai Wynn is like the most annoying character in Deep Space Nine. That whole narrative of like, yeah, that her whole like story angle in the finale is just really obnoxious. Like I don't want to talk about it because some people might not have seen Deep Space Nine, so I'm not going to like get into that. But Karatikin, thank you for the $5. Happy to welcome you back in your sojourn to the old world. Very, very good vocabulary there. Sojourn is a great book as well with R.A. Salvatore, Dritz Do Erden. I've just started watching DS9 and my girlfriend loves it. Yeah, that's the thing. Lady Turin, she didn't really get that into a lot of the Star Trek shows, but the one that she really did enjoy, like she would actually sit and watch episodes with me instead of just like coming and going, was Deep Space Nine. She really likes the characters, and there's, yeah, she really liked Major Kira, and obviously you have Jadzia Dax, and there's a lot of characters she really enjoyed and was able to relate to, so I really enjoyed that. Steadily increasing funds, yeah, like an escalation tournament, yeah. Something to think about. Something to think about. Deep Space Nine is a TV show. It's a Star Trek show. Yeah, it's very different though, because most Star Trek shows are about exploration, and there's not really super cohesive like ongoing storylines. There is to an extent, but DS9 was like one of the first ones to change the structure of Star Trek, where it became like they're staying in one place. They travel sparingly, but and there's like an ongoing perpetual storyline rather than like episodic structured formats and things like that. Yeah, DS9 is actually my favorite. Next Generation I love too. Like they're both really, really good. They're very different. Deep Space Nine is very much like it feels like a different show to an extent with its format. Yeah, Garrick is my favorite, one of my favorite characters, hands down. Yeah. Citizen Garrick, yeah, he's really good. And then you have Quark is amazing. Anna's favorite character was Quark, actually, now that I think back. Anytime there was a Quark or a Ferengi episode, Lady Turin would be really excited about that. All right, so let's take a look at the battlefield. Falcon going with the dreaded Dark Elf 40 stack again. So he's got Reaper Bolt Throwers, Phoenix Guard, and Swordmasters, a very scary Dark Elf infantry line. But this time he doesn't go as heavy on Dark Shards. In the previous build we saw, how many Dark Shards? Like friggin' like 10 or something? He's only got 5 here. So the backfield's going to be Dark Riders. We have Malekith on the Dragon. The Witch King is here, backed up by another Black Dragon. And he has decided to use his 2 Ogre Mercenaries. And he brought the basic 550 gold Ogres, which will actually really, really help against the Black Orcs and different units like that. So that's pretty cool. They'll suffer against Biggins and a lot of the different units, but if you can get them sitting on top of Black Orcs, they'll be very cost effective for 550 gold. And that's it for Falcon. Now for the forces of the dreaded Greenskin Wa, who are going to be led by Zero. Now Zero is down a game. He really needs to win this one. He does have Wurzag. Wurzag is so good in Ultra Funds. So good because of the Bonewood Staff. So every single time Wurzag casts a spell, the entire Greenskin army gets a mini Wa. They get 20 charge bonus and 12 melee attack. It's really good. 4 Doomdiver Catapults, probably to counter the ranged assets of the Dark Elves, more specifically the Repeater Crossbows. Savage Orc Biggins in the backfield. We do have a Wild Giant too. Black Orc Big Boss, a Night Goblin Shaman, some Trolls in the front, which are going to be Stone Trolls, and maxed out Black Orcs with some Pig Cavalry on the flanks. Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. The first build had 8 Dark Shards. Yeah, that sounds about right. 4 of each variant. Yeah. Yeah, Ferengi danger noises are the best. Oh yeah, Ferengi are so funny. I love the Ferengi characters. Those episodes are really, really good. Like, even in the beginning, I wasn't, like, the biggest fan of, like, Nog and, you know, his dad and all that. But, like, as the seasons went on, I really started to enjoy Nog as a character as well as his dad. And, obviously, Quark is just essential Deep Space Nine. Like, he is, like, one of the main hearts and souls of that show. Yeah. But you're not supposed to like Gul Dukat. You're not supposed to like him. You know, he's supposed to be like, you know, this antagonist character. There were times where I thought he would have like redemption arcs, things like that, and they kind of went that direction, but then they just went, you know, full heal with him eventually. All right, and now we're back to Warhammer. The battle is underway. Here in the distance, the mighty Doomdiver Catapults unleash hell. Pretty good armor piercing, and they are shooting into the Hargoneth Executioners. A little bit of damage so far. You know, Greenskin's not the most technologically advanced people, but they find a way to make things happen. Shooting into the Hargoneth Executioners, bringing this model down to, or that unit down to 60. And now in the flank, Falcon going for his classic push. He's got all the Dark Riders and Malekith and a Dragon. Probably will send in Dark Riders, blob up the Savage Orc Biggins, use either Breath Attacks and or Soul Stealers from Malekith to really win those particular fights. And the Greenskins have a pretty scary core. I mean, Stone Trolls and Black Orcs is a very, very nasty core of units. Hey, we got a donation coming in from Memzel. Holy shit. $100 donation. Hot damn. First time catching a stream live. Love your content, dude. Welcome back from Poland. Thank you so much, Memzel. Very generous of you, and hopefully you enjoyed this battle. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And we're going strong for you, man. We'll be here. A lot of streams this week. So the Greenskin Daka line shooting in. I do like the fact that Zero used a bunch of goblins to buffer his front line, so he basically put them up to take the initial beating and kind of serve as roadblocks or speed bumps to the Dark Elf army. Not necessarily a roadblock, but you know, a speed bump I think is a more accurate representation. Spider Riders, Morgrim's Magi Marauders get worn down. Here the Dragon looking to get a big breath attack down the pipe. We'll see if Zero is aware of this. It might have already done it, but no, here it comes. Breath attack going, and those Black Orcs are going to take a lot of damage. Really, really good breath attack. Did about 2,000 damage, give or take. Yeah, because Black Orcs start with 8,000 and down to 59, so very, very cost effective. So the wall is moving in. Dark Shard's a little bit delayed. They haven't moved up yet. Falcon with some tactical reserves in the back. Very unusual. He's got, you know, infantry back here. Dark Shard sitting idle here, which could be shooting Black Orcs. So a couple small mistakes from the Dark Lord. But here we do have the Black Orcs and the Trolls now moving in. And though Hargoneth Executioners do put up a good fight against Black Orcs, with Trolls there as well, they're going to have a really, really, really bad time. So you can see there, they do get absolutely trekked there. Savage Orc Biggins and other troops moving in. The Wa is now active. So far, the Greenskins have had some pretty good engagements. It looks like Malekith on the far side took some damage from something. I'm not sure. He must have landed amongst some troops here, and he's going to be dropping a Soul Stealer. However, it's a very suboptimal Soul Stealer. It just hits one unit of Savage Orcs, not that great. Mainly being used for healing. Oh, the Doomdiver Catapults are shooting. Oh, are they going to go vertical? No way. Okay, no, they're not. I love it. So Falcon uses the terrain to dodge the Doomdiver catapults, flying up super high with Malekith. Oh, I thought the Doomdivers were going to like ascend to the heavens and like go after Malekith. That would have been so funny. So the crumping is underway here on the front line. A lot of the Dark Elves have taken some serious damage, and now the second wave of troops has moved in. The Chill of Santar, the Black Guard, these various units will be getting ready to fight the Black Orcs, and a Noxious Breath coming in from the Black Dragon nearby as well should be pretty helpful for wearing these guys down. And now the Dark Shards are online, so, you know, that changes everything. Dark Shards really, really hammer down units like Black Orcs. For their price point, they are exceptional at doing that. Chase, thank you so much for the donation. Hey, Turin, welcome back to the States. Here's for being the best channel on the platform. I appreciate that, man. I don't agree with that, but hey, I do appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. So, the Black Orcs getting worn down. The mighty Black Guard continuing to grind through those forces. And here on the far side, we do have the Dread Spears as well as the Bleak Swords fighting the good fight. Savage Orc Biggins being rear charged by Dark Riders. Pretty good. Savage Orc Biggins have okay leadership, but, you know, ooh, good Gaze of Malice from Malekith. And here comes your boy Malekith here to leap in and terror rout these Savage Orcs, allowing the cheaper units to get some good value. But the Brainbuster of the Gods coming in from Wurzag, which will also be triggering the Bonewood Staff. Again, the entire Greenskin army is going to be getting massive buffs. Battle is very, very close, though. I think that the Greenskins have a slight edge just in the current state of things, but overall, it's, you know, Malekith is still online, able to break this Greenskin flank here. The Pig Cavalry haven't really committed yet. Definitely Dark Riders and other units like that would be good engagements for them. And the Stone Trolls, still pretty healthy. They also have the Black Orc Big Boss there, providing immune to psychology, so they're only going to break due to the, you know, traditional breaking methods. The Black Orcs and the Giant and the Stone Trolls continuing to grind through the elite Dark Elf infantry. Balance of power isn't really showing anything super substantial yet, but it certainly could in a moment. Here comes the Bacon Cab charging into the Dark Riders, certainly getting some damage on impact, but there are Black Guard as well as spears nearby. And the Gaze, the Vindictive Glare going down from the little goblin, does hit Malekith in the face, but the Witch King is going to be having his vengeance as he does leap in and goes after the Night Goblin Shaman and should be able to finish that bad boy off. So another Soul Stealer going down. Let's zoom out and see where it's going. Nice Soul Stealer. That was a good one. Hits a Giant, hits some Stone Trolls, hits some Black Orcs. That is the money Soul Stealer that the Dark Elves really, really want to, you know, try and win this game. So now looking a little bit scary for the Greenskins. As the Black Guard do get into the backfield and the Savage Orc Airboys starting to be a little bit compromised. Doomdiver Catapults still online for the most part. 1, 2, and it looks like this one is offline. I could have sworn there was more than 2. So it looks like a couple of those bad boys must have gone offline for now. The Chill of Santar also raging, you know, still fighting here in the front. Really, really nice positioning from Falcon's Dark Shards. Not Dark Shards, excuse me, Dark Riders. The Dark Shards making a very slow push, and that Giant is a very, very prime-time target. Another breath attack coming down from the Black Dragon, able to melt the Savage Orcs as well as the Orc Airboys here. And honestly, it looks like the back of the Greenskins is starting to be broken. It's that moment, you know, you have Batman fighting Bane, and it's, yeah, all right, he's putting up a fight, and then Bane just, you know, grabs him and breaks him over the knee here, and it's starting to look like that moment here in this battle. Breath attack once again onto the Orc Boar Cavalry. Vindictive Glare going after the Dragon, but Falcon with a Matrix dodge here. The Black Dragon lands, and in doing so, he actually dodges that. And the triple single entity Goon Squad here, I mean, you are in the wrong neighborhood, Black Orc Big Boss, and he is just going to be absolutely destroyed by these 3 characters. He's shattered, balance of power for the first time in the game, really, really showing the advantage here for the Druchii. Orc Boar Boy Biggins moving in. I mean, this is one opportunity, maybe. This is the one opportunity that the Greenskins might have to get back in this. If the Giant can move in and, you know, they can get Malekith and the Black Dragon and kill a couple characters with one fell swoop, that could be it. But the Giant is actually stuck. Oh, no, he's got a Doomdiver Catapult stuck under his foot, and he can't really move super well. So that's pretty damn unfortunate. So the Witch King does break those units. The Giant isn't quite able to catch its prey. You know, the Giant getting in there and killing either of these big, valuable characters could have been a pretty clutch moment. But Wurzag, one of his big weaknesses is getting sniped, and it looks like here the Piginator is going to get sniped, and he is now running for the hills. Giant, you know, in a perfect world would be able to beat this Hydra, but, you know, he's not going to stand alone. So I wonder if they have any sync animations. This could be worth watching here. Well, looks like you got a nice club there. The Hydra was stunned. Oh, but the beautiful breath attack. So good against Giants. That does like almost 1,000 damage. And then Malekith will descend. The Giant will probably break in leadership, and army losses will be coming before you know it. Looking around the battlefield, the Druchii have defeated the Greenskins. And there's just a couple Savage Orcs moving in. I mean, Wurzag is back. Is there a glimmer of hope? I don't think so. With the Giant being broken, and the Chillest of Santar, the chillest of all bros, is going to be defeated here. And yeah, you can see that. Wurzag, the Great Green Hog, will be running for the hills. 1200 and good night, Sweet Prince. The massive amount of armor-piercing missiles and monstrous dragons and beasts of the Dark Elf lands have claimed victory here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that format. Certainly a fun one. Ultra Funds will be back doing it. I'll probably do it like once a week. You know, can't spoil ourselves. We got to do King of the Hills and different things like that. So there you go. You can hear the Harley Davidson outside. God, I hate that so much. That is such an annoying thing. There's some dude who lives down the street and he just like revs his engine outside our house. Anyways, GG, well played. The Dark Elves showing that they certainly got some chops, at least here on the Ultra Funds. 4,000 for Malekith. Chill of Santar, 1,800, 1,600 on the Dragon. Really, really nice presence from Falcon. Good performance. Good swarming, good engagements. A couple small mistakes here and there. You know, the Greenskins got some better engagements early, but as the game progressed, Falcon made up for those mistakes, and he was able to do some great stuff. Team Diver Catapults, 1,000, 1,500, 1,400. Pretty great. Stone Trolls, heavily underperformed. Wurzag, of course, a G as always, you know, buffing up those units. And yeah, man, that was really fun. Would have liked to have seen some nasty Skulkers in this army too, but I guess, yeah, the Orc Boar Boy Biggins. You know, 1,000, 1,700 on these Cav units. People say they can't do anything, but apparently if Orc Boar Boys can get 1,700 value, clearly Cavalry can still do something. Bubba's Big Blast, Chill of Santar for the hard carry. That dude got a loud hog, he does. I used to ride a motorcycle, but, you know, I wasn't a dick just revving it, just when it wasn't necessary. All right. So, here you go. 4-man bracket. Falcon is going to be today's champion, and he will certainly be invited back for our next Ultra Fun tournament. We'll get 3 new players for that, and yeah, we'll make it a weekly format. It'll be quite a bit of fun. Yeah, critical massive dark shards is very, very nasty. Very, very nasty. So, guys, on that note, I just want to take a moment to sincerely thank you all for joining. It was a blast today. Congratulations to the Dark Lord Falcon. And thank you to the mods for helping out as always. We didn't get raided by the Zinch or Slaanesh bots today, but you know, it was a good run. Bubba's Big Blast, Chase. We got Memzel with a huge $100 donation. Memzel, thank you so much. Henry Brooks, Krotikin, Morn. We also have Harrison Ford apparently donated, telling me to get off his plane. War Titan 77, Wesley Chartrand, Anthony Riley, Alan Byers. We have the Samurai Dog with the glorious donation as well. Lich 109, Azel, Nickelback, Ant-Man, Oiva, Raw Cauliflower, Here Comes That Boy, and Wesley. Thank you guys so much for your support. Really appreciate it. It was certainly a fun one. We got to see some units you don't normally see. And we'll be back in business soon. I'm going to be getting some replays done today. They'll be going up in the next few days. But of course, we'll be back with streams and all that sort of good stuff. Thanks again, my friends. Really appreciate you all. We'll be back with the next stream tomorrow night. Will probably be a Warcraft 3 stream, a late night stream. But aside from that, I'll be having regular King of the Hills and, you know, different formats like that. More casual formats until some of these major bugs are fixed. But in general, we're still going to be having a good ass time here on the channel, and look forward to, you know, hanging out with you all. All right. Thank you guys. See you on the other side. Take care of yourselves. And we're back in business, baby. No more messing around.